Hello, Dan. How are we?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good.
We've
We
started,
started.
and Mark Cook, who promised us he wasn't going to be
Oh, there he
was
is.
going to be flying, he's bloody
So does
there.
that mean he landed early, or he's an angry man sat in
He's
an airport looking at a
he's prob-
delayed sign next to his flight?
he's probably not been allowed on the plane. Let's face it.
Ah, he was
Let's
too
face it.
drunk. Of course.
Yeah.
Just a
And there's
menace to
Jamie.
society. Hello,
Do you
Jamie.
know, hello, Jamie Buckley. I played a game with Jamie Buckley.
He's,
You're not allowed to have your phones on. Get it on airplane mode now, Mark. You're gonna kill them all.
don't,
I'm gonna.
don't say
I'm
that.
gonna.
Don't say that.
I'm gonna. Oh, you're one of these people who believes that saying things like that has an effect, are you,
No,
Luke?
not really. But I'm also one to not tempt fate, or I
Well,
nod 3 times at a magpie because I know it's ridiculous, yet I still do it.
let me tell you a story, Luke. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, when I was around 14 years old, no, probably less than that, 13 years old, um, our English teacher at our school was wheeling his bicycle um, down the corridor at school. And I looked at him, astonished. And he said, "What's the matter? You never seen a bike before?" And I said, "Oh, I hope you die, you bastard." And the day after he died,
No way.
he did. He fell off a mountain. So just be careful,
Fell
Luke.
off a
Otherwise,
mountain?
fell off a mountain. Yeah, yeah, in a mountaineering accident. He was a bit of a mountaineerer.
Not a
Um,
very good one by the
so
sound of it.
no, probably not.
Bit
So
shit.
all I'm saying is, be warned, Luke, because I have the ultimate power.
Well, how is that supposed to make Mark feel right now?
I don't care what Mark feels.
Oh,
Um,
I
I'm
genuinely
hoping
don't think you do either.
I'm hoping he feels quite uncomfortable. Um, yes. Hello, everybody. So, hello, Lynn. Um,
Hello.
um,
Hello, Lynn. Hello, Mark. Hello, Jamie.
hello,
Hello,
Mark.
John. Whoever is still about. There's only 3 other
Yeah,
people watching.
Jamie will have disappeared by now. Jamie usually says hello and then pretends he's watching and then disappears.
Well, he
We
doesn't
don't
realise we
say-
can see who's watching almost all
Yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah. Well, yeah. Right.
Just
So
out
I
of
am.
curiosity, everybody who is listening, are the sound levels all right and stuff like that? Does everybody sound right? Can you hear me all right? Can you hear Sadly Dan all right?
Sadly, Dan. How did you know my first name? I
Your old school nickname, Sadly Dan.
my old school. Yeah, Daniel the Spaniel. They used to call me, which is highly original. Um,
What
I
game are
would
you
have gone
playing, Jamie?
playing video games.
So half watching. So you're being a crap listener or watcher and a
Yeah,
crap video gamer.
he's just a crap individual.
Oh.
Who do I paint? I've got Hush.
Hmm.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Hush.
See it very
Hush.
well. Very, very well.
Yeah, yeah. It's a new angle. I'm trying out new
But
angles.
it looks
Uh,
extremely crisp, or it certainly does on my Skype, and I think it does on
yeah.
OBS as well.
So there's Red Hood.
That Red Hood model is odd, isn't it? It's not bad. It's just weird. I mean, I don't know the background of Red
He's
Hood.
he.
I
Red
know
Hood
there's a
is
suspicion that he is the Joker. Is that not
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
But that means very little to me as such. But there's
Well,
like,
don't you know who the Joker
well,
is?
right, as in, yes, I know who the Joker is, but there's good Red Hoods and there's bad Red Hoods, is there not? Even in that
Well,
game, there's a good Red Hood and there's a bad Red Hood.
yeah, but they're from different times, basically. The Red Hood is Jason Todd, who used to be Robin, who took on the mantle of Red Hood when he came back to being a
Who
superhero.
turns up with in a scene with Hush.
Who is that? Yeah, who was actually, as far as I'm aware, he is Hush. So
See, yeah, not according to the, because in the scenario I played, Jason Todd turns into Clayface.
oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it's one of the scenarios in the.
Well, there's
game.
Jason Todd. Look, there's Jason Todd as well. It's all confusing.
Yeah, it is
Um,
very.
but he's wearing the same clothes, so I think he is the same one. If you see, look, he's just got his coat open in this one. The Red Hood. Anyway, there's this big scarecrowy dude.
He's cool. Model,
There's
I've seen that painted
he is a
very
cool
well.
model.
To be fair, both the scarecrows are very cool.
yeah, this one. This one.
What have you primed them with? It's very nice priming.
Yeah, well, I like I spend money on my primer. Most people just say any kind of thing.
Sorry, I just read Mark's flipping Ryanair. I think life jackets are just discarded paddling balls. I'm going to borrow that phrase from now on, Mark. I think that's a great one. And yes, Marcus is right. Paint Red Hood because the Mini is just so weird.
This one, all right, and then I've got this one. Whoever this guy is, I've forgotten his name. Wraith. I don't even know who he is.
He looks like a sort of Iron Man, Batman wannabe.
Well, to be honest, I'm going to do my usual trick and paint about three at the same time, because that is how I roll. So, but I'll start off with Red Hood. So I've got my colour guide out. See, there he is. Look, he's got all this stuff. Nice. What's it? Danny's wrong as usual. Well,
Jason Todd was Robin, and then eventually took on Red Hood.
Yeah.
I'm just googling.
But he was Clayface, but Clayface pretended to be Todd. It's all very confusing.
So he was Clayface. That wasn't.
You are right. I don't actually know that storyline very well. So he needs black. Now, how am I going to do the black? I'm giving everyone a very exciting insight into my creative process here. I'm going to do the black by my trusty dark grey, mixed with a bit of that. Look, a bit of black. Yeah, you're taking off. Okay, see you later, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Hope you don't
all the best. Jesus Christ!
What you got me? You were getting at me for hoping he did crash, and now you're getting at me hoping he didn't crash.
Just stop talking about it.
Oh, it's not my fault. He's on a plane.
Yeah, he. So, Marcus, you are right. It seems to be Hush is something to do with Wayne.
Wasn't he Wayne's brother? I don't know. Oh, there's that Bane.
Say something
Bane
about
Wayne.
Thomas Wayne. Hang on, where did it go?
I wouldn't worry about it. I'd get to paint some miniatures. That's what we're meant to be doing, idiots.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, I'm painting a rabbit.
Right,
I'm not
still
giving
on
anybody choices. I'm painting a rabbit. You can.
Played it yet?
Shut up.
No.
How often do you have to reskin that drum when you keep banging it?
I was asking. It wasn't a dig. It was an ask.
No, I haven't. No.
Although now I know that it upsets you, I'm obviously gonna ask more often. Banging. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a very dark black grey on his clothes to the point that it's almost black. I can never really do black very well. I need that contrast paint that is completely unavailable.
Yeah, I even looked the other day in my hobby store to see if I can find it for you, but it was one of the few they didn't have.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. But no, the end is in sight for my Batman now. This is the last tray of miniatures I'm painting. Although it's too big a brush, really. But right, okay. Someone's pinging me.
Who's pinging you?
Oh, bloody Jamie Buckley.
Oh, his childhood friend who became a doctor.
Oh, I do.
What?
It's all right. It's a private conversation. Yes, I do. I will marry you, Jamie. I'll buy that off you. Jamie's selling me another.
Who was he selling you now? I sold you Arcadia Quest once recently.
He did. I sort of regret buying that now, but Cora started painting it, so I can't. That's it. No, he's selling me. Well, he sold me a few things, but the most recently he's selling me a legendary expansion.
Oh yeah, you're really back into your legendary at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't even know if it's a good game or not. I'm not normally a collector, but there's something about it that's just tickled me collecting bones.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not a completionist. In fact, there's only 2 more expansions I'm interested in, and one of which I've just bought off Jamie. So there's only 1 more expansion I'm interested in.
Which one was that?
Well, I've just bought Civil War off Jamie.
All right, yeah.
And then there's a new one called Revelations, which I'm going to buy.
Have you got?
When,
Is it Spider-Man Paint the Town Red?
yeah, I've got that
Yeah.
one.
I presumed you would because I know you like Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man. I've got the vast. I've got a lot of them when I first bought the the game because
Because you could get them.
no, because I bought the game off somebody else, so they had bought them.
Right.
So it came with a big wodge of them. Then I ended up getting X-Men as an additional
Some of them
thing.
are really, really hard to get, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know if it's sillies, but Fantastic Four is going for silly prices. I've got that.
Yeah.
But it's a big box.
I really like the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Maybe because most of my experience of comics generally does come from the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've not exactly been very well served, have they?
No.
Two pretty crap movies and then one that's considered almost one of the worst movies of all time, kind of thing.
Yeah, although Marvel's just got the license back for them, I think. So now this camera angle is all very nice, but I'm not convinced that it's not going to bug me because I'm having to kind of paint around it.
Yeah. If it's only inconveniencing you, then really nobody cares.
Well, I don't think anyone cares anyway. I don't think.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't think many people are actually watching us at all. Never mind watching us for the scintillating painting advice. But yeah, yeah. So I'm not interested in all the weird ones like the villains one. I'm not interested in villains. I don't want to be a villain. And I'm not interested
I thought you'd
in.
probably like that.
No, I don't like villains. I always want to be the good guy.
Isn't that like a standalone base set? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can
obviously
put
mix
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird ones like Noir and Fear itself, just weird ones.
Right.
But so I'm not interested in those. That's good.
Who's in the Noir one? Or is that just like alternates? Like Noir
It's-
alternates?
It's like alternate universes and stuff. So you've got
Spider-Man
things
Noir
like
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the most famous one because he's been used elsewhere. But there's loads of Noir. There's Daredevil Noir and all sorts of stuff. It was kind of an alternate.
Oh yeah, I bet he could make a good Noir character. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are any of those any good? Those comics?
I don't know. I've never read any.
No.
But I might read some. The risk of reading them is I'll actually like them and then want to buy the. I'm going to use my thing, even though I said I wouldn't for these models. Oh, me base.
You what? Oh, why? Oh, because you worried it would actually
Bend the
test
bases.
them a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the angle's too tricky. Right, I've got to find my bloody good brushes now. Where are they? It's a 1. Have I got a 0? It's a 2.
Have you been up? Oh, you're not allowed to tell me what you've been up to. So I was about to just ask you what you've been up to today, but
No, I will tell you. I've basically been back to school shopping is what I've been doing today.
Yes, that is soon, isn't it? Luckily, Elliot's still at that age where he doesn't really, outside some bigger uniform, he doesn't really,
Well, that's all we've
need
been doing. It's mainly been shoes.
Right, yeah.
Shoes we've been shopping for. So we did that. Yes, I quickly realised it was a massive mistake for me to go shoe shopping because I've got it in. Again, if you do listen to the podcast, this is definitely going to come up. There's lots of people talking in the chat, so we should
sorry,
have
been...
yeah. Oh, no, there isn't. Marcus is painting today. That's good.
Oh, what are you painting, Marcus? Oh, I think you said on the thing you painted some Batman.
Painted Batman.
Yeah. What specifically from Batman are you painting?
Yes, I went. I'm just trying to send you. I'm sending you a text. Sorry. Oh. So I went shopping. It's always a mistake for me to go shoe shopping because I've got it in my head that shoes should be about £10 to £15, and they aren't. And so the entire time was spent me wincing at the prices.
Right.
Should we do it then?
Yeah.
Should we do it? Yeah. Go on, have a go.
I should have Marcus on Skype.
I don't think we actually asked Marcus yet if he wants to come on.
Marcus, you coming on?
There we go. You need a new angle though, Marcus. I've got a new angle. So I went shopping for shoes, and basically I was a pain in the ass to everyone around me because I was
moaning about the price of shoes.
Moaning about the price of shoes.
You don't want to go to France because for some reason shoes in France cost an absolute fortune.
Why is that?
I have no idea why, but just something we happen to have noticed over the years that, like my wife's seen a pair of shoes and thought, oh, they're nice, and then you look at the price and you're like, what the sweet Jesus? Why is that so
kids' shoes?
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I have £40 limit on shoes for my son. Any more expensive has to pay the difference. Well, I'm quite fortunate that my kids aren't into brand names and things like that. That looks like a Christmas.
Yeah, you could see him, but the people can't see him yet.
People can't see him. Okay, I will continue talking to Lynn about school shoes. I'm
how's that for an angle?
Cool. What an angle, Marcus! What an angle. Although you are completely out of focus.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah. Okay. Everything. You're very blurry.
How do I focus this? I have no idea.
There's all sorts of jiggly pokely going on with it. At least he hasn't crashed it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't tried to put it into OBS yet.
Yes, you wait.
Okay.
Right. So Skype's ramped up a bit, but
I have no idea how to adjust the.
Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Have you got? No, Marcus. You've got. Go to your settings. You've got blur the background on.
Oh,
that's why. Because as soon as you brought it up to your face, it would. There we go. That's lovely. Right.
All right.
Okay. Right, people. I shall try.
You have to excuse us while we.
If it all goes absolutely Pete Tong, my apologies. It is Marcus's fault. But we shall see what we can do. Right. Let's add in another NDI source.
This is fascinating viewing for everybody.
It's not really that different to anything we're already looking at.
Now we can see two talented people and one crappy person painting.
I can't see. I can't see what's going on because. Have you got him on the screen yet?
On the screen, yeah. Just adjusting stuff.
You should have this all set up already.
No, you can't. It's not as simple as that. Because it's fine if I had constant NDI feeds. Right, so I think I need to. Marcus, just talk for a second.
Yeah, sure. What should I talk about?
Yeah, that's fine. No, Dan. No, be quiet, Marcus. Be quiet. Be quiet. Dan, now you talk.
I'll talk. Well, that's my natural state of being. As I said, my kids aren't kind of designer conscious, so I've looked out there. But even normal school shoes. I mean, there's this school shoes from Clark's, whereas if we got them from Asda or somewhere like that, it'd be a lot cheaper, I'm sure. But you need them measuring, don't you? That's the problem with kids' feet because they're growing, the little swines.
Constantly growing, yeah.
Constantly growing.
Yes.
So that was that. That was today's activity, and I fell asleep in the car on the way back, like the man-child I am, basically.
I think we're just about pushing it to its limit, but I think we are okay.
Oh, right. You had the echo for a while.
Yeah,
but
no,
then,
I got rid of. That's what I thought it was going to do. So I was. That's fine. I realised how to solve it, which was quite nice.
It's impressive for a grade A idiot. I played some good games. Are we at a point where we can actually have a conversation messing with settings?
Hang on, yeah, it's just saying it is getting. No, go on, keep going.
Okay.
I think my one is dropping in and out a little bit. Hang on. No, go on.
Maybe. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm not. Well, we'll keep on going for now, but maybe 3 people isn't going to ever really work on this, which should work if it's just doing 2.
They'll probably see my feed for some reason keeps dropping out, which is probably the best one to drop out.
Well, I was going to say you can't really see what Marcus is doing, but it's because my YouTube thing is I haven't actually got the screen of the YouTube properly. Yes, yours keeps dropping out a little bit, but no one cares. No. So what are you painting, Marcus?
I'm painting thugs with crowbars. The lighting is too bad, but yeah, some of the normal guys.
Very good. Well, I think, did you see that? Someone put a list up about all the minis that how frequently they came in. So when I first started painting them, I tried to paint the ones that were most frequently used in all the scenarios first. But then I gave up doing that quite quickly and just tried to paint it scenario by scenario.
I'm painting the basic guys now. Those are in most scenarios, I think.
Yeah. There's some you can just not bother with, though. Like I think plants only turn up once or something like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a long job painting this bloody Batman stuff, I tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'm on my 9 to 12 characters now, so I got a long way to go.
Yeah. And have you got the expansions, or?
Yeah, I got some of the ones from the second Kickstarter. I got the things that I've read when I used to read Batman more.
Right.
So I got like the Suicide Squad and
okay.
That Reaper guy and some of those Etrigan, the demon, I think. So not much, a few things.
I was tempted to buy those, but I ended up not. But the rumor is they're coming to a web store anyway, aren't they? So I can pick it later if I need to.
We should be all right now. Because I've turned my video feed off. That's going to you guys because that's superfluous.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah. So just to take the load off a little.
Marvelous! Look at you technical genius. So anyone played? Yeah. I'm dropping in and out too, apparently.
Yeah, you did go a bit crackly for a minute, and that was just while I was buggering about with stuff, I think, basically.
Right, okay. And plus, my internet is absolutely shocking, so if I drop out...
that might have been because of that, yeah.
We've had a number of issues with our internet, and they've not been solved, despite us complaining loudly at Vodafone.
That's been on for a while now, hasn't it?
He's been banging on about it for a long time. I agree, Marcus.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we really noticed it until I started trying to Skype and stream, and then it became very apparent.
I've since we started doing this and we turned it over to me doing it on OBS, I've seen how. I mean, I've got a pretty damn good PC, but it's hungry stuff for a PC. Yeah, definitely. There's no getting around it.
I don't actually think it was much. Well, it actually was. There was a problem with a Mac in that it used to have a bigger delay from whatever. There were signs of my Mac slowing down, but the real issue was the net connection.
Yeah.
I've got white gloves. This chap.
Sorry, I didn't hear. What do you paint? Are they the thugs, Marcus? You're painting?
Painting crowbar thugs.
Yeah.
Crowbar thugs.
So how did BriskCon go, Marcus?
Oh, it looked good, man.
It went very well, actually. I think we were like 17 people at the most, and everyone was playing basically all the time, except for when we had oh man, what's that called in English? Where you have like questions.
I was going to say keys in a bowl. Yeah, is that what you mean?
Yeah, a key word. No, but what's it called when you have maybe that's not a thing in Britain, but when you put up questions and you follow a sort of a path to answer the questions. Is that a thing?
What? What kind of questions? Let's do it now.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Give us an example.
Yeah, but I had board game questions. So, for example, how many games have
a quiz? You mean?
Yeah, but it's specifically that you follow a path around.
Oh,
usually it's outside.
A scavenger hunt or something like that, a treasure hunt.
Ah,
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Each question leads you to the next one. Is that what you mean?
No,
each
not really.
Right.
In Swedish, it's called a tipspromenad.
Yeah.
And a promenade is the word for taking a walk,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And I think tips is that's
Quizzes.
actually yeah, sort of. It's a quiz walk.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
something.
Yeah. Scavenger hunt, treasure hunt. That's what we
Yeah,
would call
something
it.
like
It doesn't sound like the answers to the questions are intrinsic to the
To the location of the next question.
to the location,
No.
whereas it would be in the UK.
Yeah.
We were inside as well, so you could see the next question from where you stood. So
What was the point in moving around?
I suppose because you stay on one question until you answer it right, and then you go to another, so you can see the progress in the race, maybe.
Oh, okay.
yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have just done it as a quiz, basically, but it's a thing in Sweden. We have tips promenade, and you should have that, and it's a fun activity.
It sounds good. So go on then, give me a question.
Let me see if I can find them. No. Okay, so one of the questions was which game has not won the Spieles Jahres?
I know. Side.
Yes, correct. But of these three, there's always three possible answers, and the answers were Dominion, Pandemic, and Quirkle.
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
Correct.
I got that before you, Dan.
Yeah.
I'll just point that out.
It-
And
well,
you just then
only 'cause of
copied my
lag.
answer.
No, it was actually a question. I did that as a question in This
Oh,
Game
so
is
now
Broken.
you're trying to flip that and say I actually copied
Oh,
your
yeah.
answer and I've repeated from when I heard you say it before.
Well, although I
Clever.
don't think I used those three games, but I definitely used Dominion, and I know Quirkle.
I must admit,
won it
when
because,
you said Dominion, I very briefly thought, I'm pretty sure it has, but I wasn't entirely confident, you know.
well, I was
Then when you said
entirely
Pandemic,
confident.
I was like,
Dominion
no, that's
actually
definitely
beat out
Dominion.
Pandemic.
Go on, then. Give us
Yeah,
some more
fire
questions.
Yeah, I'm looking them up in my Dropbox.
I should
Okay. So the second question was, which of these games is designed by Rainer Knizia?
Go on.
Llama.
You have to get the alternatives first, Dan.
Okay.
Okay, so the Amazing Spider-Man game, The Adventures of Superman, or Spawn the game.
Oh,
Spawn the game,
I-
Adventures of Spider-Man, or what?
Superman.
And the Superman game.
Bloody hell.
I think Spider-Man.
That is correct.
Yes! In your face! In your face, Luke Pryor!
Do you want me to do all
I said,
10?
hang
do
on,
them.
I'll answer the same way as Dan did last time. Spider-Man. Oh, there you go. I just repeated what you said.
That's correct. You have 2 points as
There
well.
we go.
Very
The
good.
score is now 2-1, I'd like to say. It's 2-1
How is
score.
it 2-1?
You got one with
Pandemic.
Dominion. Yeah, Pandemic,
We've only
whatever.
had 2 questions.
I actually didn't give Luke a chance
No,
to
I
answer.
got 2 questions right, and you got 1 question right.
Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying now. No, you copied my answer.
Oh, God, no, I didn't copy your
You
answer.
did, Nobbit.
Answered simultaneously.
No,
just
you
lag
didn't.
made it sound. Lag made it sound like you got in first, just because you. Oh, you're such a bad loser.
Oh, I've seen you losing. So that is the pot calling the kettle black, sir.
I am actually a very bad loser. I can't get over it. I need to really watch. Anyway, go on, carry on.
You two are like an old married couple.
I wish we were divorced.
Okay, so question 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you search for Munchkin on Board Game Geek,
yeah.
how many hits do you get?
How many hits?
Ooh.
So is this like closest to what number sort of thing?
No,
Yeah.
you get 3 numbers. So
Right,
it
yeah,
says
that's what I mean,
84, 199, or 287.
84, 100 and something. What was it? 199.
Yeah,
247.
87.
287.
Can't
They were
can't
all
imagine
very
you
low.
want
I was
84.
expecting way higher than that.
on Board Game
Oh, on
Geek?
Board Game Geek.
How many
Sorry, I thought
books?
you said if you just Googled it. Right, sorry.
No, if you search for it on Board Game Geek, how many hits do you get? So it's separate entries on Board Game Geek.
84.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I was going to go with the lower. Yeah.
I think.
84?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually 287.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do either of you like Munchkin?
Never
No,
Have you
played
never
it.
played it at all? No.
No, I don't really want to. I don't think it.
It's one of those
I'm pretty
things.
sure.
The best description I've ever heard of Munchkin is that it's 20 minutes of fun in a 2-hour game. You know, and there is nothing wrong with Munchkin. It's a fun, silly little game with some really good little bit of built-in humour, nice artwork if you like the style or whatever. But it just goes on too long, you know. And it's just it's just crap in that sense.
It's a bit like you.
It fades pretty quick. I mean, we played it.
After 20 minutes,
we were
you're
at
done.
game convention, and when my friend bought it, and we played it like 4 times, and then we thought, well, now we've seen all the cards, so we can stop playing now, basically. Okay, are you ready for question 4?
I am.
Okay, so has Die Maker ever been on number 1 on Board Game Geek?
Yes, the first
one.
one. Yeah, exactly. It had to be number 1.
Okay, so who we do then?
I was I was technically just behind you in saying the same thing.
But the alternatives are yes, no, or yes, but only as an April Fool's joke.
Oh, no, yes.
No, I'd just go yes.
Well, yes is technically true, but it was just an April Fool's prank.
Was it really? No, it wasn't. It was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they didn't publish the list
ranking
until they had a few in the date. So it's game number 1, yes, and that's why it was the first on April Fool's, because they that day they sorted it by entry number.
No, I'm not convinced. I think you're wrong.
Oh, see, bad loser. Sure, see, Marcus, bad loser. Soon as he thinks
you get a point for yes anyway, because it is technically true.
I can't remember what the points are now. I've lost count. This is exactly what happened to me on this game.
You're still 1 ahead, basically.
That's exactly why I quit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so question 5.
Couldn't keep track of the points.
How many languages?
3.
Has Scrabble been translated to? In 2008, this number is a few years old. Is it 14, 29, or 40?
14, 29, or 40? 14 sounds way too low.
Yeah, 40 is too low. 29 feels a bit too low, but I suspect it is because there's not actually that many. Well, there are obviously a lot of languages.
Well, how many does it need to be actually technically translated into? Well, because how many alphabets are there? It's Scrabble.
Yeah, but
you can't use foreign languages.
Has been released in, so to speak.
Because I suppose, yes. I was just thinking of the tiles, but yeah, the board obviously has triple word written on it and stuff like that, yeah.
And it's more about what's the official dictionary of it as well. I'm saying
the tiles are different because
I'm going to say 29 because 40 is too round a number.
Yeah, 29 I'm going with as well.
Yeah, I mean in Swedish age is very much less frequent than in.
So the point.
Points
to the tiles.
Of course, that makes sense.
So what's your answer?
29.
29.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Still 1 ahead.
This is probably mostly for Swedish people, but in Sweden there's a game called Drakborgen.
Yeah, know it well.
And it was, sorry?
I know it very well. Yeah, one of my favourites.
Yes. It was released in English.
Yeah.
So the question number 6 is, what was the English title of Drakborgen? Was it Dungeon Quest, Dragon Quest, or Dragon's Hoard?
Dragon's Hoard, obviously.
Drakborgen, did you say?
Yes.
Dragon's Quest, Dragon's Hoard, or Dragon's what?
Dungeon Quest, Dragon Quest, or Dragon's Hoard.
And it's called...
What's the answer, Luke?
He's on Google Translate. I can see him through the camera.
I've got that turned off, actually, so you couldn't see me.
He's on Google Translate.
I'll go
he's cheating.
Dragons...
He's cheating.
Dragon's Quest.
Okay, so you're both wrong. It's Dungeon Quest.
Oh, that's what I said.
No, you said Dragon's Hoard.
No, I said Dungeon Quest.
No, you didn't.
You did not, you knobhead.
I did.
You did not.
That's that was released
Paul
by
Plumridge is
I looked at the chat pages. Hang on.
No, it's all right. Paul Plumridge is saying let frequency be different in different languages, which is correct. Yes. He obviously got there before we did.
Yep.
Yeah, go.
Okay,
right.
So question 7.
I'm 2 up. Okay.
Who designed the Landlord's game that was later to become Monopoly?
Oh, was that lady? Was that woman?
Actually,
Susan McKinley Ross or Sofia Wagner?
Oh, Sofia Wagner sounds familiar. What was the other 2 names? Sorry.
Elizabeth J. Maggie or Susan McKinley Ross?
I'm saying Elizabeth J. Maggie.
Oh. Susan McKinley Ross.
Dan is right.
Yes!
Maggie.
In your face, Pryor.
Well,
Just because you
Susan McInross actually designed Quirkle, which we
that's
talked about earlier.
it. I knew.
Yes.
I heard the name. Damn it.
And Sofia Wagner did that Noria game a couple of years ago.
No, I don't know that name.
She won a Spiel des Jahres kind of fellowship, didn't she? But then the Noria came out and no one really liked it.
No. But she did the next game she came out with. What's it called? Sorry,
The Boldest.
The Bowlers, yeah, that's really good.
Is it? It's got beautiful art.
Okay, question 8. How many games has Klaus Jürgen Wrede designed, including
12.
expansions?
12.
The alternatives are 78, 122, or 241.
122, clearly.
78.
Sorry, my phone is messing up. The correct answer is 122.
So neither of us are right.
What was it called? I said 128. What was it called?
Did you? Sorry, I thought you said.
Yeah, I think it was. You're correct, Dan. It was
Yes!
120. You're the closest, at least.
In your face.
Oh, he's so happy. It's nice to hear him happy, isn't it, people? He's usually so bitter. Yeah. So it's nice. I'm actually losing on purpose just to make him happy, but don't tell him that.
Yeah. Okay, so question 9. Which of these are not versions of Love Letter? Love Letter The Hobbit, Love Letter Star Wars, or Love Letter X-Men?
Star Wars.
Well, The Hobbit is a fan-made...
Hobbit. No, it's not. It was a produced one by AEG.
Was it?
It had Martin Freeman on the cover of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got a fan-made Hobbit one. I'll give that one Luke, because he's probably right, and I don't actually know.
I've never seen a Star Wars one. I didn't even listen to the third answer, because I was so sure I
hadn't. No, it's Love Letter X-Men. There is a Love Letter Star Wars, apparently.
Is there?
Yeah. It is on BGG. Maybe it's fan-made.
What was the third answer then?
X-Men.
X-Men, okay.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so the last question. Question number 10.
Mm-hmm.
According to BGG, what is the playing time of the campaign for North Africa? A game that's so detailed that the Italian troops have to get extra rations of water just so they can boil spaghetti.
It's 9,999, isn't it? If I remember right.
It's 10,000 minutes, 25,000 minutes, or 60,000 minutes.
I think it's
60,000.
Yeah, I think it's like the stupid one.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So that were all the questions.
They were good.
They were good questions. Yeah. Nice little fun thing.
I also did some what do you call them when you have like pictures that you combine together to get a word? It's a rebus in Swedish. I'm not sure what it's called in English. You know what I mean?
Sorry, no, I was busy looking at something else.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I know what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. So you like?
I did some of those as well, but it's hard to show them, and some of them are pretty much based on in Swedish. So it's hard to do those.
Right. Yeah.
And then I did some anagrams, and it's the same with those.
Yeah.
So,
there's no. Just looking through. The reason I'm vaguely.
He's questioning the quizmaster.
No, I'm not questioning the quizmaster. I'm looking to see. I used to have all the questions I'd written for This Game Is Broken, so I thought we could do some of those, but I can't find them on my thing, so we can't.
Sad.
There you
But
go.
I have given some games for prizes, so I got rid of some games from my collection.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and I've been selling some games, so now it's going down. That number.
That's good. I my plan for tomorrow morning is to catalogue my games, because I wanted to compare my owned games to, like you did. You posted on the Facebook group, didn't you? What?
Yeah.
Your own games to bought games ratio. I mean, owned games to previously owned games is what I'm trying to say. But mine will be a lot more. Although saying that, I keep forgetting to update that list. So even the owned games wouldn't be that accurate. And I've catalogued all my kids' games, so I can't be asked now. Think about it, because.
But I mean, your previous loan has to be a higher number than your own at this point.
Yeah. Certainly at this point, yeah. But what I'm saying is to actually get an up-to-date thing of what I own would mean me having to go back through all my kids' games and check which ones I've still got and which ones I haven't.
Yeah.
I only just recently updated mine on BGG because I suddenly realised I hadn't done it for absolutely ages. I know I've winged it a bit. I've probably missed a few things here or there, but.
Well, I did it once, and I got them all off the shelves and dusted them, which goes to show how often I was playing them, and catalogued them. And I found it a very, very enjoyable process. In fact, that's one of the things I quite like. Everyone complains about Marvel Legendary about putting it away, and I actually quite enjoy putting it away. Sorting all the cards out into little piles and all that kind of stuff. I find it quite enjoyable. But yeah.
It's like I wrote on your picture there. I think like playing around with games and then sleeving cards and putting things in bags and stuff. I really enjoy that, and it's a good way to play with games basically, but without playing them.
Yes,
my wife likes helping me sleeve a game. Before, when I sleeved Sentinels of the Multiverse, she enjoyed just the kind of monotonous of it.
That's it. It's very zen-like, isn't it? I know the Murphs used to stream used to call them streaming sleeving parties, where they got a load of games that needed sleeving rather, and just did it all at the same time.
It's cool that they're
sleeved all my
going to BGG, isn't it?
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah. I was expecting a flurry of videos from them, but they hasn't arrived. So I wonder when they're first. I mean, I know they've done one, but they're going to start turning up on BGG channel soon. I'd have thought, unless I just haven't seen them. I haven't seen them either. I don't subscribe to the BGG channel, but I occasionally watch a video. You know, when it's advertised at the top of the.
The game night pops up on my recommended a bit here and there, you know. But
yeah,
I think I do technically subscribe to it, but I very rarely ever watch.
I do too. Yeah. I like the game night.
It's good. It's good. Some of them are very funny as well.
I was going to say, I think it just depends on who's on and what they're playing, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No. Keep meaning to watch that one Ambi was on because she did her games night recently. You've gone from 300 games to 34 and actually play them now. Well, that's the same situation as me, Lynn, really. Although, to be fair, I'm not playing any of the games I've kept either. I've kept I think I must have kept, I don't know, probably about 20, I'm guessing. I haven't actually counted. But I'm not playing my games very often. But the ones I've kept that I want to keep for occasions, usually, rather than just to have them. So like I've got Railways of the World, which I know I'll get played once or twice a year, but if I didn't have it, then it wouldn't get played, and it's one of my favourite games, so in fact I think it might be my favourite game. And stuff.
I would like to play the Gearstones if possible.
Yeah. What did you say, Marcus?
Did you say you only have 20 games?
Roughly. If you don't count games.
Okay. How many cullings did it take to get to that number?
Oh, I'd say about 15 to 20. And sometimes those cullings usually ended up with me spending the money I got culling on buying new games. Do you know what I mean? So usually my cullings have been mainly driven by me wanting to get something new.
Yeah,
not feeling
usually what mine are.
All right.
Yeah.
Not feeling justified spending family money on such an extravagant waste of money, basically. So I tend to get rid of a few games that rarely get played. And to be honest, I was looking at a photo of Matteo says, do we count expansions as separate games? I don't. But
on BG it does. So I always
you can exclude it. You can exclude it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I very rarely buy expansions.
Stuff the other day was including expansions.
Right. Yeah. I very, very rarely buy expansions. I tend to. It's an episode I keep meaning to do. I think we're gonna have Mike the Pillock Pool on to talk about it because he has a very different opinion to me.
Yeah, I'm with him. I love expansions. Very good game, anyway.
I may have said this before, but I'm a recovering expansionist.
Yeah.
I bought everything. Like if something came out for a game, I bought it. If it was a game I enjoyed, but then I realized I have to play the game.
Never play them. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I stopped doing that. Now I just buy them for like Legendary and the games I enjoy playing sometimes.
I'm certainly shrewder with what I buy expansion-wise, definitely.
Well, half the time you're playing with new people, so you can't play the expansion. The other half the time, the expansion just makes it more complicated, not better.
That's true. It often depends what it adds to me. Yeah, as to whether I buy it or not.
I don't mind Legendary. I mean, it's like the Isle of Skye ones. It's like Isle of Skye is such a wonderful, simple game, and the expansions just make it more complicated. One particularly makes it incredibly complicated. And it's fine if you've played that game 20, 30 times. You need to play it more than that and got absolutely fed up of it. But let's face it, although you can get in trouble for saying that as well. I've got in trouble many times for saying that people don't play the games, but I don't care. People don't play the games as often as they think they do.
We don't. It's true.
Yeah.
And there's people who get defensive about it. I'm convinced get defensive about it because they see the truth in it.
Yeah, it's because you've hit a raw nerve. Yeah,
and feel attacked.
Yeah,
of course.
So there, but
my current call is pretty much based on that. I'm soon going to Essen, so
yeah, so you can
I'm getting
making space.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I always take a load to bring and buy at UK Games Expo because I know I'll come back with a bunch.
Yeah,
I never come back with UK Games.
I sort of enjoy the doing it actually. It feels pretty good.
Well, the one thing
very cathartic.
Yeah,
I'm really a bit sad about missing out on Essen this year. In that the last 3 years I've come back with a bulging suitcase, a bulging sack, you might even describe it as, of kids games. Usually all free, most of them free because I've been reviewing them. I don't think I could do it again, even if I wanted to this year, because there's so many that I got didn't really like much and didn't end up reviewing. That I think I'm probably on a lot of publishers' blacklists anyway.
Jamie's not. I would like to meet Matthew there.
Yeah, well, Matthew's going to go there. Matthew's going.
I'm not even know him, but I'd like to meet him.
You
won't after you have.
No, exactly. Jamie's down from over 300 to roughly 150 games. I know he's selling them all me. That's why. In fact, he's sold a load to. There's a new board game cafe opening up in Huddersfield.
Oh, that's cool.
So sold. Yes, I think it's cool. I can't see it working.
Oh, why?
But well, why? Because the local game shop lets you play there for free.
Ah, right, okay.
And I don't think it's a big enough population.
Right.
It's in quite a central location, but it's got lots of windows, which sounds good on one hand, but at night you have pissed people walking past going, gee, I don't know.
Feeling
I just don't.
In an aquarium. Inside an aquarium.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Dean says he had the Invasion expansion for Orleans and just sold it as he had to relearn every time he wanted to take it out. Well, that's the other issue with expansions as well.
No, he's not, Lynn. Don't lie.
Relearn it, what? You've met Matthew? I don't believe you have. If you've come with that,
I don't mean she's lying that she's met him, but it's the fact that he's lovely. No, clearly not. Or you're talking about a different Matthew.
Yeah, different side to him than I have. I don't know how public the knowledge is meant to be, so I won't mention it about Matthew's potential changing thingy.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a little bit of half-hearted gossip for you.
What on earth you would word anything like that? That's I don't understand, but...
Getting close to finishing Petty Manchester Madness. Any suggestions for the next game? Lightish, shortish, with good quality minis. What you're after?
I was going to say, you've just painted Manchester Madness, so everything's up.
Lightish and shortish with good minis.
Lightish, shortish, with quality minis is what we're after. Well, what about Warhammer Underworlds?
Yeah, Warhammer Underworlds is very good. It's a two-player game, though.
Yeah, I mean, but it ticks everything, doesn't it? In that sense, it's got one of the best quality miniatures you're ever going to find because the Games Workshop. There aren't that many of them. The game itself is not brain burnery. I mean, you could get into the deck building aspect of it, but the game is simple and cutthroat and nice. You know, I don't know why I said cutthroat there. I didn't mean cutthroat. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
The other alternative would be Mechs versus Minions, but I wouldn't paint that. I wouldn't start painting that because you'll never finish, and it'll be quite dull. And it's relative. It's not expensive for what it is, but it's still pricey.
I've never actually seen it in the flesh.
It's nice.
Yeah, well, I think that's almost a given now, isn't it?
I bought it, and
it's to actually play. There you go, John.
You still have it, Dan?
No, I sold it. It's all right. It's one of these games. It's got a campaign game, so unless you're playing with the same people every single time, then you're playing the first mission over and over and over again.
All right.
But I mean, you can't really criticise it for that because that's a fault with many games. Did buy the expansion for Sulkin though.
I've always wanted to paint the gears for a Sulkin board.
I painted them once, but not very good.
Well,
I just I covered it in Astro Granite basing stuff to make it look really. It looked all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just looked like I painted it to be stone rather than what.
I'd have done I'd have done a mixture of that. I wouldn't have necessarily used textured paint though. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I used textured paint. Well, I'm not saying it was a good idea. It was early on in my board game painting thing. In fact, early on in my painting thing, I think. No, but it did look all right.
Yeah.
It made it look like stone.
Oh, cool.
I did loads of dry brushing and stuff of it as well. Yeah, it's on one game. It's very competitive. So going back to John's
Underworlds.
thing, Underworlds is very competitive. In that you are going at each other.
Yeah.
Trying to win. And it is a bit of a rabbit warren. That's another game I've got loads of minis for. In actual fact, here's some Underworlds minis here. I've got my goblins.
That's my warband. That is my favourite.
I haven't painted them yet.
Mine. I just need to finish mine. I keep thinking of nearly finishing them on here live because I've only got to do a little bit to a few of them, and that's it.
Sweet. And then I've got some more. I've got these buggers as well. These don't come in the base game, but each team costs you about 17 quid, a bit less.
I've got him as well. Yeah, I might take his mushrooms off his back. I don't really like.
Oh, I like them.
They don't do it for me. I'm not sure.
I'm looking forward to painting them red and dotty and stuff. And
I might still use them, just not necessarily on his back.
Flying thing
like
there. Look at
flying
this.
squig's cool.
State of that.
What? You're taking a chunk out of it?
Yeah, when I take it out of the spruce.
You never know when you paint it.
It was a really long time ago since I played Games Workshop game, actually.
Shadespire is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing really good things about Warcry as well. A lot of people I respect are saying it's one of the best Games Workshop games they've ever played. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it myself because I can't afford it. Firstly, and secondly, I've got enough skirmish games that I'm not playing to not. I don't want to get another one really. And it's also chaos, and I'm not that keen on chaos. If the starting teams were, I mean, you can have other teams, but you'd have to buy them. And and you can buy them separately. You can buy the rulebook separately and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure I can be asked for that level of messing around.
Yeah, that's kind of where I've landed on it as well.
Well, because I'm playing Frostgrave again now.
That's
and
what I want to get back into is Frostgrave.
I've got Gaslands and I've got Kill Team, which is also a great game. So I don't need another skirmish game, and I've got Necromunda I would like to get back into as well.
I used to love Necromunda.
Yeah.
Well, I would say back in the day, Warhammer Quest and Necromunda were the best two games Workshop ever made.
It's got a bit of a runaway lead though. Necromunda.
You what, sorry?
I don't know. it's a bit like Blood Bowl in that it's got a bit of a runaway leader. If you do a campaign,
definitely, yeah.
once one person starts winning, you might as well just restart the campaign because
it outstays its welcome very quick. Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's fun when it isn't.
Yeah. Go on, look,
Yeah,
Marcus.
sorry,
Sorry,
You know what my killer tactic for Necromunda was?
What's that?
I had a lot of Juves with hand flamers.
Yeah, that was the way to do it because they automatically hit, so it didn't matter that you had a ballistic skill 2 Juve, and Juves were cheap.
You had to get really close, but you could cover him with a weapon.
Do it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You played dirty tactics, Mr. Marcus.
Yes. I did.
Yeah, it was a good game. Was Necromunda,
and it still is. I mean, it's
yeah.
I haven't played the new version.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how different it is from the old version.
Not very. No.
Not a great deal.
What's the advanced rules anyway?
I've played it a couple of times and we really struggled with it, but that's because of the roll to wound, roll to hit, all that kind of rubbish, and I just wasn't used to it anymore, and it just made no sense, because you have to do 7 different rolls
for one shot.
For one shot. But then since then I played Kill Team and Age of Sigmar, and that clicked a lot more for me. So I think a replay would mean that wouldn't be an issue at all. So me and my friend Rob, who is the person I play most of these types of games with, are probably going to try it again when we can be bothered getting anything painted up. Rob keeps trying to persuade me to buy Monster Apocalypse. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've been on its Facebook since it got re-released. I've been very, very, very eager to pull the trigger with it. I think the models are great. I love the theme because I love the whole kaiju Godzilla, big weird armies kind of thing. I like short
people
small
who don't know, basically your army is led by a kaiju, so either a kind of
big mech or a
Voltron type thing, or Godzilla, or a big alien monster, or something anyway. And then you've got a load of little land troops as well that are helping you take down the opposing person's.
Could be all sorts of things, little flying discs or little tanks or beasts or whatever, all sorts. Almost anything you could think of. It's
I think there's a Cthulhu type one as well, isn't there?
Very weird and wonderful.
Yeah, but it's very pricey. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's stopped me so far. I just haven't.
It feels like a kind of game you're going to be playing every now and again, if that, maybe even once or twice. And so to have to drop, because it's not only that. If you want reasonable terrain, you have to make all that as well, because it's obviously a different scale to most games as well.
I've got some terrain for that because of drop zone and stuff. So
right, oh, that's something else I quite fancy getting into.
Okay.
Yeah. What colour shall I do? What colour am I doing his trousers?
Have you already finished Red Hood?
Well, I'm letting him. Yeah, but pretty much. I'm.
There's only 3 colours on him. Yeah.
There's only 3. The thing about. The thing about Batman, Luke. Yeah. The good thing about Batman is each model's only got about 3 colours. Now it needs washing and stuff, and highlighting. Right. I'd let him dry, and I like to paint 2 or 3 at the same time. I'll do his trousers dark.
Is this too bright? Can you guys? You have to look on the YouTube feed in a minute, guys. But is that
fine?
What, the tunic and all that? It's not too bright.
Oh, I see. Bring it close to the camera. Oh, you have done. No, it'll wash down if you're going to wash it as well. Are you not going to wash it?
The blue and the green I wasn't going to wash. No.
Oh, I would do.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. I'll see how I do when I get the rest of it.
I like bright clothes. But depending on what you're looking for, is he meant to be a kind of rangery type thing, where he's trying to stay?
No, I wasn't going for the ranger thing because that's what I did with the squirrel. I wanted the squirrel so it looked very concealed, beastie, But
yeah, no, I think it's fine. I might have. It's difficult as well because you can't really tell with the colour. The colour might not be completely accurate on this as well. I'd say it was one shade too vibrant.
Yeah,
but
I wondered if I took it a step too far. Yeah.
Yeah. Dean. Sorry, Dean. Kemet's good. Yeah, minis are nice. Although sometimes this is for John's.
Oh, going back to
painting.
John's question. Yeah, Kemet's great.
Yeah,
Although they're already nicely washed and,
I was going to say I'd be a little bit
shame
worried
to
about
bugger
making
about
worse
with them.
than they are.
From that series, I really like Cyclades, but I'm not sure how the minis are to paint for
That's
that.
the game that started my collection. They're basically the same quality as the Kemet minis.
Yeah? That's a really good game,
I
I
love
think.
it.
It's
I
great.
love Cyclades, yeah.
I've only played it once, but I remember really enjoying it. It's an auction game,
Well,
isn't
it has the brilliant auction aspect of it, and that's what I think sets it apart from everything else. Lots of people really like
I
the
actually played that
Titans
with Scott
expansion.
Nicholson, if you know him.
You played it with who? Sorry, look, Marcus.
Scott Nicholson.
Wow,
Oh,
blimey.
the real royalty.
Yeah.
He came to visit me in Sweden. He didn't come here to visit me, but he was doing a conference. It was a librarian thing conference.
Right.
And it was close by, so he wrote on some forum that if anyone wants to play, and I said, yeah, come over. So he came over and we played Cyclades and we played Drakborgen, actually,
Dungeon Quest.
because he was a big fan of Dungeon Quest. So we played the original Swedish version. He was really delighted to play that.
Very good. Is he a nice man?
He's very nice.
He strikes me as a
Seems
very
like
nice
a nice
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's really nice. I really enjoyed his company.
Yeah, he was the first ever board game YouTuber, wasn't he? Basically.
Yeah. That's how I actually sort of started. When I started really getting into board games, he was a big inspiration. For me. So yeah, it was fun meeting.
He was an inspiration for Tom, wasn't he? Was he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. He's probably an inspiration for many people starting doing videos and stuff like that.
Well, probably not so much anymore. But
No, he had his
I-
board game,
Sorry.
well, breakfast bit or whatever it was. You know, he was a Dice Tower contributor for a little while, wasn't he?
yeah, but not video, audio.
No, he
wasn't
did video.
Oh yeah, no, he
Yeah.
did do board game. Yes,
For a
you're
short
right.
while.
Yeah, I can't remember what. It
That
just
was
centered around a different subject each time, if I remember rightly.
I think it was academic
Yeah,
subjects.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. He did do that, but no, the thing that I valued most from him was he did a board game shelves with Scott thing, and he recommended not the Kallax, but the Besta.
Which it's Bestow actually, but anyway.
Whatever.
What would you know about that pronunciation?
Well,
Oh,
how
hang
would
on.
you know?
Yeah. No.
But and he's completely right. You know, completely right. I've got a what is it? Bistow.
Bestow.
Stower. Bistow. That's a brand of gravy.
Yeah, I
sorry,
was going
man.
to say that's so lost on the poor fellow.
Yeah. So it's really good. It's much better than the Kallax, in my opinion.
I started using Kallax, so now I'm keeping him because to make the room look better, so to speak.
I built.
He also did a comparison of bags.
All right, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. No, check it out if you're into getting some bag for your carrying around board games.
Well, I've got one, but mine broke at Essen last year. The year before, and then I bought another one exactly the same. So it just goes to show I'm not very bright. But I bought it because it was cheap.
Yeah, I got the same one.
Yes.
It's a drum bag.
Yeah, Cajon drum bag.
Cajon drum bag, yeah. What did he recommend for bags? Can you remember, Marcus?
It was basically like the needs you should go for this, and if these are your needs you should go for this.
Right.
But I think he made me actually. He didn't make me, but that movie made me get the John bag, for those drum things.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
About,
yeah.
And I really like that, but it holds a lot of games. But if you pack it full, it gets a bit too heavy for the bag.
Bloody heavy, yeah. I used mine
Yeah,
yesterday.
so
Just taking it back to the
yeah.
car, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's why mine broke. The straps came off it. Sorry, just to interrupt. Daniel Holding. Hello, Daniel.
Hello,
and
Daniel.
Dave Watkins. Sorry, we hang on the chat. Who are we talking about? I've got no idea. Oh, Scott Nicholson.
Scott Nicholson, yeah.
Scott Nicholson, who was the first ever board game YouTuber, and now he's very big into escape rooms.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's his passion. His escape rooms, and He's a professor of games, isn't he?
Yeah, game design or something, game theory or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, we painted with Mark. And someone asked me what this guy is. It's
Oh, Mark. Hello, David.
and this is Scarecrow. And these aren't flames; they're fear gas. I think it's meant to be.
Yeah, like gas or smoky. Yeah.
And I'm very pleased. I know exactly how I'm going to paint these. It's going to be very easy. So I was pleased with that.
Those would go great with like contrast paint, wouldn't they?
They would. Well, I'm going to use the precursor to contrast paint.
Oh, shade.
Which no, which is this.
The technical. Yes, sorry. Yes. Yeah.
X-ray flame, which I'm pretty sure came out of.
It's basically in somewhere in between shade and technical. Yeah. Sorry, shade and contrast. Yeah, definitely.
I think they brought that out when they brought the ghosts out for the Games Workshop.
Do you reckon?
And I'm pretty sure. Well, they knew what was coming, didn't they? That paint must have been in development for a long time.
Just thought, what else can we do with this? How can we push it?
Yeah, well, I think they just thought this would go so well with these things. Let's just bring this stuff out a bit early. That's what I think they did.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely perfect for painting ghosts or anything else spooky and stuff like that. They've got enough.
Yeah,
it is incredible, and they've got this blue stuff which is not quite as good actually, but it's still not bad.
What's the blue one called again? It's
the blue Night Haunt.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Blue. It doesn't go down quite well as
the Hex-Ray
green
one works just unbelievable. Though it's just.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just because the blue one isn't as amazing as the green one. So I'm looking forward to putting that on. Actually, I'm going to have to. What colour shall I do his shoes? I'm going to do his head and his shoes the same colour. Zandri dust.
I think I'm actually going to bed now.
Oh, okay.
You calling in?
I was up at 5 this morning. And tomorrow, my daughter is having her first play date, so I have to be ready for.
Awesome.
It is from Batman City Chronicles, and then Marcus was painting something from Batman as well. Have you actually finished anything, Marcus? Let's have a look. Hold it up to the camera. What you got?
Looking good.
Yeah, it's a bit dark.
I have the lighting is behind it, but I think it needs a little bit more paint and then some shading, and then it's good enough for me.
Yeah. No,
you don't need to take them too far. Don't muck about with them too much.
It's tabletop standard, sort of.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going with Batman. I've given up trying to paint these all lovely. They're going for as quick as I can get away with, basically, at the moment. And I'm happy with that. Yeah. Good, jolly good. Yes, and last time between Wind in the Willows and Battle Royale, which is exactly right. Yeah. Yes.
Wind in the Willows.
Yes, Dean. I've got two. Luke's still doing Wind in the Willows. Oh God. So you're going to bed? Sorry, Marcus.
Yeah. Are you calling it a night then, Marcus?
I am. Nice chatting to you guys.
Thank you very much for being with us, Marcus. All the best as always. Yeah.
We'll give you ball warning, and you can start with us. That might be easier. Right.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Take care,
right.
Guys.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Right.
Sorry, I kind of hung up on both of them. Right. Can you just turn your video back on, please, sir? I couldn't believe it when I realised what I'd done. I was like, oh, he's never going to let me live that one down. Yeah, we're still streaming. That nothing changed there. Oh, are ya? Yeah, sorry, I can hear you. Yeah, I was just checking something. Yeah. Oh, can they not? Oh, there you go. Sorry, there you are. You should be back now.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, because you blipped in and out of it, so I had to reset it.
Oh, I blipped in and out of it, did I?
Well,
Yeah.
in a sense, yes. Through no fault of your own.
I'm very pleased with this new camera angle. It's working really well, isn't it? As kind of a more kind of bird's eye view of it.
Yeah,
type.
it does. Yeah, definitely does.
And not bird's eye, less top down, more kind of
certainly. It's definitely a better view.
Yeah. So yes, I can't remember what we were saying. Oh, I was saying about Kingdom Death Monster how I'd be a bit scared to paint it due to how much it costs.
Also, he was chastising me, obviously, for the fact that I dropped his feed inadvertently.
Yes.
But none of you would have heard him calling me a ridiculous amount of swear words, to be fair.
Yeah, I called him a twat.
I would love to paint Kingdom Death Monster. Love to have a go at it.
It's a bit pervy.
That's what I don't like about it. It's just some of them just. I don't mind that they're pervy. It's just weird. It just doesn't do anything for me. You know, if you like all that style and that cool weird
I don't think it's meant to turn you on, Luke. I don't think that's the intent of it. I think it's interesting because it's the whole sexist horror thing, isn't it? Which is completely valid and interesting, but it can be controversial. But that whole, you know, as I say, sex as a horror trope, and the primalness of that, which is interesting.
I didn't realise that's kind of what it was, to be honest. I thought it was just a style and aesthetic that was gone with. I didn't realise there was anything really to it as such in that way.
Well, that's
interesting to know. But...
Well, I'm not saying I've read an interview or anything. It just struck me as, you know, the
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Yeah, I just hadn't really given it as much thought as it probably deserved. To be fair.
Yeah, I've never played it. My friend's got it.
Yeah, so is mine. One of my best friends has got it, and I'd very much like to play it to see what it's like. You know.
Yeah, well, it's meant to be a good game.
Yeah.
Have you played it? Who said it? Who
David,
said
wasn't it? Daniel.
No,
Daniel.
Dean. It was Dean.
Dean, sorry, Dean.
Yeah. Have you played it, Dean? Is it any good? Or you, like me, and tend to not play things until you've painted them and then never paint them, so never play them? Have you been doing any sculpting, Luke?
What, as in Sculpey?
Yeah.
I have started having a go at something, yes.
Is it good? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it takes me back a bit, kind of thing, to what I used to enjoy about art class and stuff. You know.
Yeah, well, I in art class once we were doing a clay. This is one of my kids' favourite stories from my youth. We were doing a clay model of an anthropomorphic animal, no less.
Right.
Out of clay. So it took a long time to make a kind of. You had to make a kind of hollow thing, so when you fired it wasn't solid clay and all that kind of stuff, and then it took ages to do, basically. So we were doing this clay model for must have been 2 or 3 classes and stuff, and I was sat next to this guy who was, well, it was one of my friends, but it wasn't like a close friend or whatever, but my best friend and I were sat next to him, and we were chatting and ribbing each other and all that kind of stuff, and he got up to go to the toilet, so he went to the toilet, and while he was in the toilet, I made a very rough approximation of his model, yeah, and then hit it with a rolling pin. So it was all squished, and I took his actual model and hid it, you know, under the table. So he came back to find this kind of squished, what he thought was his model, and so he got really angry. He said, "You bastard!" And he got a rolling pin and smashed my model.
I love it.
Which served me right, to be fair.
Yeah, I suppose 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't fault him really. I made it again. I did it like in half the time as well. So I obviously was too busy pissing about to do it properly last time. But I haven't. I've got a pasta. What's it? A pasta maker.
Yeah, pasta machine.
Your pasta machine. That's it. Because my friend Ty gave me one.
Oh yeah, she said she was going to. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady. But I haven't got the Sculpey yet because I've been too busy buying legendary expansions. So, but I will do soon. I'll wait for a bit of money to come my way magically. So yeah. Oh man. I've been on a week's holiday.
Yes, you have.
Not
Yeah,
not
a week off, haven't you?
a week off. Yeah.
How was your games day? Have you played whatever game was being chosen for you and
Yes,
Mike
I did. Yeah. We played on Thursday. We played. Well, we didn't play both of them. We played Abyss, which was chosen, but then we didn't have time to play Dogs of War, so we played instead Carson City, the card game, which I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
I played those two with Jamie, who was in the chat earlier on today.
Yeah.
I don't always. Well, no, that's not true. I was just saying to Dean that I only play games when I paint them. That's not entirely true, but what I tend to do is either play games when they're totally unpainted or totally painted. I don't like playing games
midway
when they're half done. So yeah. So
do you like Abyss, by the way?
I did. I enjoyed it a lot.
Did you play it before?
No.
I very much like it.
Yeah. It wasn't as simple. It's bizarre because it's got this reputation of being a very simple card game that looks like a very complicated game. As in, when you get it all out, the art belies how simple a game it is, type thing. So I was expecting something really simple, and it wasn't actually as simple as I was anticipating it being. But nevertheless, I really enjoyed it. And then Carson City, the card game, I really enjoyed as well. I don't think Jamie did. But
if I remember right, I'm a massive fan of Carson City.
I don't like Carson City.
Did you not? Really?
It could have been just the play I had of it, but I found it too. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like it. I think it could have been I was tired as well, but I found it quite mean, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, for a worker placement game, it is mean. Very mean, because not only can you obviously block spots, but you can actively duel people and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, it is definitely mean. There's no question about that.
That's the one where you're going around a city, isn't it? And then you block it, and then you're putting tiles out in front of you and stuff.
Yeah. You're buying parcels of land, and then...
I think I played against two people who knew how to play quite well, and it was my first game, which I think didn't help.
Right.
But I didn't dislike it. I was like, okay, that's that played. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was always quite intrigued by Carson City card game because I'm obviously a very big fan of the base set, the base game, and I never really gave it a look because I remember Z saying that he felt it was very kind of optimal move. You felt like you're a little bit. There was the move to make, and it really wasn't. There wasn't any decisions to make. There was an obvious and optimal move, kind of thing.
Potentially, you kind of pick your strategy and go with it. But the other thing is, it's an auction game. So
is it?
So
I didn't realise. I don't remember him ever mentioning that. And I like an auction game.
I suppose it's not. It's not. I say an auction game. It's not an auction game.
Okay.
So there is that caveat.
That's quite a caveat.
But you've got a hand of 9 cards, and you play a card out your hand, and that number dictates. The higher the number, the higher. If you beat other people, then you will go before them to draft.
Oh, okay. So
it's sort of an auction game. And I really like that. There was a bit of. Yes, there was an optimal move, but sometimes you couldn't do it because some bugger had shafted you. They could see what you were trying to do, so they stopped you as well. That happened to me.
Right.
Bloody Mike the Pillock Pool. I think I came second.
Have you ever played the other game you were potentially going to be playing, Dogs of War?
Yes, I didn't like. Not that I didn't like it. I didn't realise how cutthroat and shafty.
I've always heard that that's a really unsung hero of a game, though.
It is good. It is good. It's well overproduced.
Right.
So I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, maybe, but it's one of the rare cases of a game being too overproduced that it probably affected its sales. Right. Because it probably costs more than it should. There's absolutely no reason for the miniatures
busts or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a simple little nasty don't know.
Oh, really?
Take that's not a good word for it, but it's nasty.
Right.
I enjoyed it. I can see its value, but I got really badly shafted and ended up not being able to do anything because other people shafted me, which is absolutely fine. That's part of the game. But that kind of impacted on my enjoyment of it a little bit because I just spent the game being frustrated, which some people might say you should be mature enough to take, but not me.
But you're not. So.
No, I'm not. No evidence that I'm not. So, but no, it's a fine quality game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I always wanted to try it. It sounded very much up one of my friend's street.
Yeah, well, you probably can get it cheap now as well.
No, it kind of. I missed the boat on that.
Right.
It's
gone from being no one wants it to being unavailable, basically.
Yeah, to people sort of suddenly going, oh, actually, that was a bloody good game, and it was gone by then, and the cheapness got picked up, No, I mean, I think so anyway. I think that was the impression I got last time I had a quick look to see if it was attainable.
Now then, shall I try and wash this white? I usually don't bother. I might do. That white there, look on his the
middle of his tux. No, I wouldn't.
My screen has shrunk again, according to the.
Oh, it has. Yeah, sorry.
You don't care about me, You don't care about me at all. Flesh shade.
Sorry.
Come on, get it sorted.
I have.
Oh, what's Mike Delisio doing? Are you available to? Are you available to chat, Mike, or would you rather not? We've already had Marcus on, so theoretically it shouldn't crash.
No, it shouldn't melt.
It did last time we tried to. Stream.
You're welcome to join, Mike, if you wish.
Yeah. Oh, you can chat. Invite him in. It's Luke's at the helm, so
Right,
you've got his thingy.
Hang on. I don't know if I've got you on.
What would happen if I added him?
Yeah, you probably could actually. Yeah, I don't know. I might have him just via contacts in general, but I don't know.
Oh, Dean's just posted his Kingdom Death Monsters stuff too. Oh, massive now.
For God's sake, why has it done that? I have no idea why it does that.
It maybe swells to include my ego.
It didn't get that big.
I don't think I can add anyone to this call. Oh, yes, I can. Right, I'm going to try.
Yeah,
if it all crashes, we know whose fault it is. It's ringing.
God, now he went really little. Right.
Don't make me go little.
Oh, no, it keeps changing all over the place at the moment. Your one.
It says Mike Delisio is unavailable because he hasn't turned on his Skype yet. What an idiot.
We shall wait. We wait with bated breath. Oh, drop me bloody paintbrush.
I'll have a look. Hang on a second. I'll look at the thingy. Oh, look at my phone to see this Kingdom Death Monster stuff. Barrage first play.
Oh yeah, cool.
Monster stuff.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Right. Hello, Mike.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
The audience.
They won't be able to hear you yet.
No, why is this?
Oh no, they probably can hear you,
that?
actually.
Just the magic of. Oh, he's got a blurred background.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
And you can see right.
I can't even see. I can't even see what I'm looking at here.
Well, you can't see
There you
Dan?
are, look.
Or Dan's
Can't see
red
me.
hood?
You've got me.
Oh, you know what? I think it's because this happens every time. I paused the live stream so I wouldn't get the messed up sound, but I think I just need to mute it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mute it.
Yeah, so let me mute it.
But it'll be.
And then I
The reason you can't see me is because Luke has got me and you on the same screen.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm sorting that out. Shut up.
He sorted it out. It's all right.
I see my beautiful visage now.
Yeah. Get your camera moved. Oh, that's better. Well done.
Is that better?
Yeah. You look amazing, Mike. Have you had
Well,
some plastic surgery?
I'm feeling pretty good with my appearance lately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I've put on a few pounds. If I'm being very honest.
Well, maybe you've had a haircut then.
Well,
Have
no.
you showered? No, you don't shower until Sunday. Now he's everywhere. It's a nightmare.
I'm proliferating.
I'm
Well,
sort it out. Shut up.
I don't know.
It's a bloody nightmare. This. Right. Okay.
See, this is what's going to happen with me as well, because
You've got all this.
I've downloaded Ecamm, but
This-
I haven't played with it at all.
This isn't Ecamm.
Oh, this isn't?
No, this is OBS.
Oh.
We can't use OBS because we're Skype. We're Mac users, and OBS doesn't allow you to use Skype in Macs for some reason.
Okay. Well, I've heard that OBS is a little bit difficult to navigate.
Yes.
Anyway,
Thank you for the sympathy. I'll take that as sympathy
Yeah.
and understanding.
That's happening.
rather
Yeah.
than the shit I get from Dan.
Listen. I'm very supportive of you and your IBS, but sometimes. Acting professionally, Luke. This is a professional outfit, and
Now I know you're
Clearly.
talking shit.
have you sorted out Mike's echo?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Jesus.
Am I echoing
No,
as
that's
well?
my bad. That's my bad. There you go.
Dickhead's fault.
Because listen, my voice has to be heard in crystal clear fidelity. The
Yeah.
people demand.
Dude, we get lots of compliments on your voice.
Well,
Usually,
I didn't want to say it, Dan. I'm glad you did, but I didn't want to say it.
No.
So what are you painting this evening, gentlemen?
I'm painting the Red Hood.
I'm painting. If you can see the YouTube stream, because I've turned
Yes.
you off on Skype. I'm painting a rabbit archer.
Rabbit Archer. Okay, and then Dan has got something with a very odd head.
Yes. old phallic head. That's what I like
Yes.
to call him. He's the Red Hood. He's a Joker before he became the Joker.
That's the Red Hood. Okay, I see.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm just
Speaking of the Joker, have either of you gentlemen seen the new preview for that
No,
new
I haven't.
Joker?
No, I mean I saw.
I've seen the past ones, but
Yeah, I didn't
but-
know a new trailer had come out.
yeah.
A new one came out. It's I have to say I think I'm in.
I was quite in
just-
after the last one.
Yeah, I think that Joaquin Phoenix will do a really good job with that. I think he can pull it off.
It looks a bit dark for me. I don't think I'll bother.
Yeah, it'll definitely be.
Yeah, I appreciate it probably has to be dark considering it's about the Joker, but
Yeah.
he uses Bob Monkhouse's best line as well, Luke, which a
Go on.
lot of people on Twitter are up in arms about.
Well, go on.
Bob Monkhouse's most famous. Bob Monkhouse was a very famous kind of a variety
Well,
artist.
he did. Yeah, he started off as literally classic variety, but then he
was
did
song and dance man, comedian, then game shows and
game
all that.
shows. Did he do This Is Your Life as well for us?
No, I don't.
Did
think
he
that
not
was...
host that? No, It was somebody
No, that was
maybe like him before. No, before him, before Michael.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you did.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
whatever. Bob Monkhouse, and he was famous for having joke books. He had massive library of joke books he'd written himself. And his best joke was, or what he made up himself was, they all laughed at me when I told them I wanted to be a comedian. Ah, well, they're not laughing now, are they?
That is one of his famous jokes. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And that's in the new thing. That's in the trailer apparently. So people are saying this. The rat bags stole it. They're not saying it nastily. They're just saying. Yeah. So how are you, Mike? Anyway.
I'm doing fine. It's Friday of I'm assuming that you do not have the same Labor Day holiday that we do over here on Monday, correct?
No. In fact, I start my new job on Monday, so I'm vaguely. anxious
Is that
about
right?
it. Yeah, vaguely anxious
Well,
about
sure.
it. But yeah, no, we've had we call them bank holidays, but we've had a bank holiday last Monday, didn't we? Yeah, so we probably had ours, but I don't think it was celebrated. What was it?
What is Labour Day? What?
Yeah, what is Labour Day?
Labor Day, from my understanding, it's not one of those holidays that we tend to spend a lot of time. Well, at least nobody I know has. I think it basically commemorates the. Is it the labor movements? I don't. I want to Google this now. I've
always wondered why can't you wear white after Labor Day and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a fashion thing, and you're asking the very last Okay, Labor Day, the first Monday in September, is a creation of the labor movement. I was correct, and it's dedicated to the social and economic achievements of American workers. It also constitutes a yearly national tribute to what makes the United States far superior to the UK. And, let me stop right there. I made up that last part.
Seamlessly done.
Well, I do what I can for the 16 people watching now.
Hey,
that's pretty high usually. That's pretty high.
That's the more we've got.
Yeah,
That's
not bad, right?
We've got.
Jamie Buckley says if they managed to make Joker as good as Logan, it would be great. But DC's recent history doesn't fill me with optimism, and I tend to agree. Except I have a feeling like this to me reads much more like the Dark Knight series of films, and I think those are pretty unassailable. And I have a feeling this is going to kind of go into that. It doesn't feel like the kind of the Suicide Squad, overreach for grittiness.
No.
No,
my wife.
So,
my wife watched the trailer with me, and she was actually really interested because she likes sort of the psychological thriller, serial killer thing, and so it kind of appealed to her in that sense.
I am a little worried we've seen the entire film already in the trailer.
I always worry about that. Yeah.
Hopefully we haven't. We'll see. Anyway, it will be too dark for me, so I'm not going to bother. I like my superheroes light and fluffy.
Yes, indeed.
Although not as light and fluffy as Shazam, because that looked too light and fluffy for me. So
I haven't seen that.
You just can't please me. Well, my friend Lee said it was really good. So I don't know.
Sorry, I'm having a little chat with my son. If you see me looking up,
that's fine.
Chatting.
That's fine. You're allowed to talk to your son.
Perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. This is an informative thing.
I didn't know what the rules. I didn't know what the rules of the hangout were because I'm just I'm an interloper. I'm a usurper. Yes.
A little wanted interloper. That's what I'd like to refer you as.
If you were any good at painting, Mark, I'd much rather do it with you.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't even know. I wish I even had that excuse. I don't even know if I would be a good painter because I have not. It's one of those things that I know that I would probably enjoy if I just took the time to learn the basics, to feel like I was proficient enough to do, what I wanted to do, and then slowly build up my skill base to get more and more.
I think you should give it a try.
I don't. But if you're not, the problem is it's expensive just to give it a try, isn't it?
Right. Although I know
you might be seeing
Derek,
a video from me soon to say that otherwise of that.
Oh, right. Oh, interesting. Do you not think it's expensive?
No, I don't think it has to be. No.
What kind of paints are you going to use?
You'll find out, won't you?
Oh, is it? Have you done it then this video?
No, I've started something.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, Derek Madlam has a large amount of paints, and I have a feeling like if I came to him and said, hey, could you set me up with a
perfect,
just a little enough to get started, that he would do that. Also, it's something that my wife has talked about. Maybe we can, try to do some of that together.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Might be a nice little spending time together type thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, normally I paint on my own, and I find it very relaxing to paint on my own. But I have had Cora up here. I mean, I enjoy doing these things, and I have had Cora up here to paint with me, and it's nice just sitting here. It's one of those activities where you can talk with you. It's like walking. What's going on in your bloody...
Sorry, I'm just
Luke.
getting stuff out for basing.
Oh, you're at that point already?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. What time is
Oh
it?
my gosh! So Daniel Holding, Daniel, where are you located? Apparently, wherever he's located, it's Saturday morning.
He's in Australia.
Yeah, he's in Australia and New Zealand, isn't he? I think New Zealand. I forget which one it was.
Okay.
It's one of our, we've got a strong following. In fact, me and Luke keep saying we should do one of these in the morning.
We do have to do that.
Yeah.
And that would actually work so fine with me.
Yeah.
Easy to do for me.
I actually should have suggested
New Zealand. Okay. Daniel is I hope it's a lovely New Zealand morning.
Last time it was like 8:30, 9 in the morning or something, wasn't it, Daniel?
Well, if it's anything like if he's anywhere,
9:30.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, it's actually really. If you live in New Zealand, like Peter did, it was incredibly, but you probably have to work from home. It was actually a lot easier than I was expecting to get the times lined up with Peter when we had Peter on, because he's obviously in New Zealand. But yeah.
So Dan, you didn't tell any of your good stories, did you? Because
No.
we need these for,
No,
for Sunday.
No, I didn't even bother asking.
Told a half-assed version of my shoe shopping one, but I'm going to make it more entertaining when we talk about
That
it.
won't be difficult, trust me.
No.
So it looks like Luke has got some potentially illegal substances on his.
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to go on camera. Hang on.
Yeah.
How do I edit that out?
Try taking that to an airport and see what happens.
So I don't know. I had an exciting question to ask you. No, it was. Don't matter. It was something about Gearstone.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's not that long away.
So
now,
what
is
is what's the communal meal situation where everyone is just kind of cooking? Is it going to be like everyone is chopping up vegetables in the communal area, and we're all kind of singing songs and?
Yeah. We usually have each night. We have volunteers who are going to cook. Usually, Flavian has previously been one of them because he's a very good cook. Luke, you volunteered to cook.
I'm an ex-chef.
Okay.
I'm an ex-chef, so yeah, I'm happy to cook.
I was going to say, yeah, Luke actually has those skills, yeah.
So we have the kitchen's not really big enough for everybody to be in there cooking. So we have a communal meal, and it's usually something really simple. So usually a big pot of something and a big pot of so big like chili we had. Flavian made an amazing. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, can't remember what he made, but it was amazing. We've had all sorts of stuff go on, and people who enjoy cooking. We tend to arrange that a lot in advance. This year, and then previously, we just had a vague agreement that we'll wash up afterwards, but that's always ended up with the same people washing up each time. So this year we're going to have a road for washing up. The lunches and the breakfasts. You bring your own stuff, but usually we suggest pot noodle basically for lunch or something like that. Something that doesn't require you dirtying up the kitchen or spending ages in there because there's going to be 30 of us trying to get through. You know what I mean? So something that you can just add to boiling water or stick in a microwave, basically. But I'll provide your food, Mike, or we'll go to the supermarket before we.
That would be a good excuse to go to a supermarket and perhaps we can stop at a Boots just so I can say I've been at some point.
That's right, Jamie.
Cool. Just getting the best out of your trip to the UK there, Mike. Cool.
Yeah.
The highlights of Boots and the supermarket. Oh, you fun-loving bugger, you.
Well, Dan and I have already talked. We actually, when we go to a new place, one of the best things to do is go to a supermarket. I love it.
To be fair, I'm completely with you there. I've done a lot of travelling and walking the aisles of supermarkets. You're just like, ooh. What the hell's that? Oh, what's that?
Exactly.
Oh, look, they've got that. Oh, they've got that.
Yeah.
Well, David says that Boots does a lunchtime sandwich meal deal.
They do. Yes.
Oh,
to me, quite good sandwiches.
Nothing says authentic British cooking like a Boots lunchtime sandwich meal deal.
That is probably a very.
Boot sushi. Yeah.
I think if you
You know what's funny?
Well,
I was just going to say I doubt very highly that this is something that that anything outside of the United States. But it's funny because a euphemism for throwing up in the United States is booting. If you say I'm going to boot, it means you're going to throw up. So the boot sushi is actually sounds pretty
rank.
Yeah.
I think if you're a fan of sushi, boot sushi ain't great.
A Boots 3.
I'm not a fan of. Go ahead.
I was just saying. Sorry, I don't know why I keep trying to make this point because it's not even interesting. but if you're after an authentic, British meal, then a Boots £3 meal deal probably wouldn't go far wrong. I'd imagine there's more people eating that on a lunchtime in the UK than most other foods.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Jamie just pointed out that he does cook. Yeah, it's true. Jamie, last year he made pasta and meatballs, and last year Flavian made tartaletti.
Tartaletti.
It was nice, I'll tell you that much.
Tartaletti.
Sounds good.
It was like peasant food. French peasant food.
I am a peasant. David Watkins says he's coming to the States for the first time in October, and he's looking forward to going to a Walmart. And I will tell you, David, your experience will likely depend on where you are. Walmart, to some extent, is a Walmart no matter where you go, but there are some Walmarts that are almost like you've stepped into another world, another planet. You see things that you will never, ever see anywhere else. So, yeah, it's going to be I thought that Walmarts were all over the place. You guys don't have Walmarts over there?
No,
we have... Yeah, go on.
Asda is a very popular supermarket here, and they are technically owned by Walmart, but it's not Walmart as you'd know it. We have stuff that's a bit like it.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Right.
I think Asda's probably as close to Walmart as you get, though. To be honest, I don't like Walmart.
Don't either. I avoid it like the plague.
It also isn't as special an experience these days. The gap between American supermarkets and English supermarkets is narrower than it was when I first went to America, which is a shame. Target is where I would recommend you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely. They're talking about Target here too. Yeah,
I've been just talking. I've been to Australian Target, and yeah.
So Target is unusual, and then going to Target and kind of seeing guns for sale and stuff like, okay, all right.
Yeah. The Target, that's true. They did. They have. Target has stopped selling not only guns; they've also stopped selling ammunition.
Oh.
You can still
Good on.
you can still get guns in Walmart, I believe. David is saying, what supermarket should he check out in Orlando? Well, I think Dan can answer that as well as I could, since Dan's been to Orlando a number of times. But I want to say that the what's that?
Sorry, man.
What did you say?
He's obviously getting some lag or something here.
Yeah.
I've been to the big Walmart. I've been to a Walmart. I don't know if it's the big Walmart in Orlando because that's next to where our house was that we rented, and I was less than impressed. But it is interesting.
Yes.
It is interesting.
It's interesting. No, if I go to a supermarket. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Go on. I was just saying I hate Orlando anyway. So don't go to me asking for. Don't go to me asking for tips on where's good to go in Orlando because it's as far as I'm concerned, it's somewhere I never want to go to in my entire life again. Now, granted, I haven't been to Disneyland or anything like that in it, and I very much enjoyed the Dice Tower type stuff I was doing there, but the city itself was a shithole.
It is. And sorry, I keep stepping all over you, Dan. I was going to say, David, if you want probably the best, somewhat local supermarket experience for Orlando, I would say to go to Publix. It's spelled with an X, Publix. Those are all throughout the South. They're really big in Florida, and that's going to be more of like a regional American supermarket where you'll have a little bit of local flavor there. And, because a Walmart in Florida is not going to really be any different than a Walmart in Indiana or Ohio or really anywhere else. So I would say Publix is the way to go.
I went to a Publix. It's quite posh in there, though, isn't it? It's quite upmarket.
It can be, depending on which one you go. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I was amazed at is that last time I went to America, well, if you don't include Dice Tower stuff, the pound used to go a long way, and everything felt like it was half price. Well, it don't feel like that anymore, baby. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a number of things I think. I don't know. Obviously, Brexit has made it worse, but certainly it felt very expensive in America, which was very unpleasant. And it'll feel worse than that now because the pound's dipped even more. So, because when I went last time, a pound was worth $1.5, and now it's worth $1 basically.
When I went to Vegas, it was not a million miles off 2-1. It was one of the best exchange rates it had been for ages. That's far from the case now.
Yeah, so
man, you could be a high roller when you're getting $2 for every one. I mean that's the way to go.
It's not exactly equivalent. We earn less less pounds than an American would earn dollars type thing. But
right.
But well now because it's 1-to-1, it just feels very expensive there, especially when things like tipping barmen and stuff like that. It's like good grief.
I was gonna say I feel like I learned a dirty little secret this morning when I was listening to the latest. Well, who knows if it's the latest since he puts one out every 20 minutes. I was listening to what I think was the latest We're Not Wizards podcast. Yeah. With Neelan of Board Game Barrage on, or Barrage
as well,
as you call it. And they were talking about the exchange rate, just like you are now. And Richard was making it sound like the board games over there, because of the exchange rate, he was used to spending like $50 retail for a game, and now he's having to, or for a Kickstarter or something along those lines. And that now, he's having to pay, $100. And I'm like, well, that's what we've had to pay over here. I didn't realize it was so much cheaper for you guys over there.
No, I thought we paid more for our board games and stuff than you.
We paid more for our board games than you, I think.
Well, then Richard is spreading lies, disinformation, and he's not to be trusted. I am now pulling a public need for everyone to remove your subscription. No, I'm just kidding.
The only place I've ever felt in Europe where board games were cheap was Essen. I felt board games were relatively cheap there, especially for new board games, because they do a little bit of a deal for Essen, and then they're cheaper in Germany than they are in the UK anyway. But again, that was with a favourable exchange rate, which certainly wouldn't be the case now, because our government is
scum.
Yeah. But anyway, won't go into that. Although,
no, why not?
Yeah, no, there's no point, is there? That's the thing. There's no point other than everything's been wrestled away. Anyway, whatever. God damn it, corrupt bullshit. It's like, as I say, Emperor Palpatine level shit going on in the UK at the moment. But in America, I mean, granted, I appreciate that Cool Stuff Inc. is cheap for Americans as well, but. When I went to Dice Tower Con, I could buy things from Cool Stuff Inc. It was like everything being on half price sale. You know what I mean? It was very cheap. So you won't be spending money.
David here is saying he turns 40 when he's in Orlando. What would people recommend to check out gaming wise? They're going to be spending most of their time in Disney, and I was going to recommend Cool Stuff because that's the only place that I know is in Orlando. I'm assuming there are other probably smaller gaming stores, but from what I understood from Cool Stuff, the nice thing is not necessarily even the price, but more that you could pretty much order anything you want, and even if they don't have it at that location, they'll bring it to that location for free.
Yeah.
You just there.
just pick it up. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because Derek was saying it's not actually that impressive a shop, is it?
No,
It's just like
real crap. I've watched some videos of Tom when he went to a magic thing or whatever it was, and yeah, I was a bit like, oh, and nothing special at all.
It's just just a little strip mall store. Yeah,
but I mean, inside it's just it looked pretty tired, pretty crap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
but yeah, you might want to check that out. I'll tell you what is good at Disney. Did nothing wrong. Empire. Well, it's depending on your perspective. I'm glad to see. I'd like to say Mark Cook didn't die in a plane crash, despite Luke's desire for him to do that. So I'm pleased.
My desire.
Yeah. Welcome back to the UK, Mark. Everyone always compliments Luke on his chuffing models. It annoys me. What about this?
Well, when yours look as good as mine, they'll compliment you.
I don't even see yours on the screen, Dan.
Yeah.
It's because I keep moving
while Dan's
around.
showing his, I'll show mine instead. There you go.
Okay.
No, I'm showing mine now. It's just it's behind. That's all.
It's a nice looking model, Dan. But why is he holding two very large ficus trees?
Do you know what, Luke? The flowers really make that model. I think it was a very good idea of yours to copy me and put the flowers on.
I'll let you have it, Dan. I'll let you have it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that model you're doing there, Dan, looks like I have a feeling it's going to look like at Gearstones after we've eaten a big pot of chili.
That's true. I've just put a blob of bloody green on his nose now. Well, that's ruined that.
Yeah, you have, haven't you?
Yeah. To sort that out in a minute.
Thank you, Lynn. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you.
No, the Burrows and Badgers miniatures. Saying that, the ones I didn't turn out that bad, but Luke's is Luke's been doing a marvelous job on his. Shame he's never played the game yet, really.
I would agree. Yeah.
Other than the sculptor of the minis that
Master Michael Lovejoy.
Luke is making, Michael Lovejoy, has been popping up on our Facebook group.
That's pretty fantastic,
cool.
actually.
Yeah, we should get him on. I mean, I think he probably has been because Luke's been posting about Burrows and Badgers on it. But still, it's the speed it's gone from grey to painted is impressive, Dan. Thank you very much. I'll take that.
I'd agree with
I've
that.
got to wait for this stuff. I've got to wait for this stuff to dry now, unfortunately, and then.
Now, theoretically, if you had just taken it and dipped it into a bucket of paint, it would have been even quicker. Am I right?
That is true. Oh, actually, that's not a bad look. He's got kind of green teeth.
Yeah, don't worry. I think I just knocked the wire. Don't worry. I was still here.
He's an idiot.
I wonder how. I need to look back on these things and count how many times you call me an idiot.
Yeah, does the OBS have a capability to put a little counter up?
Yeah, I think that's what I'll have to do. Yeah,
probably does. It's a very very sophisticated piece of equipment.
It has the ability to do an awful lot
that we are not using it for. So, right, I'll carry on painting this one.
Ask you, Luke, about how you do your little overhead camera there. Do you just have it attached to a? What kind of camera are you using?
It's an iPhone. It's an old iPhone.
Oh, right.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'll take a picture of it. I'll send it to you, Mike. Hang on.
Yeah.
Now, this is like a system I kind of rigged up more as a proof of concept, but I'll just sending you.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm actually considering getting I think I'm finally going to break down. This is something we talked about in one of the recent podcasts. I think now time to finally look into getting a new phone and purpose the one that I'm using.
It was my
now.
wife's old phone, and I was just I could sell it.
You're not kidding. You just put something up there. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's one of those
I mean, it works.
It's one of those little gorilla tripods that has the flexible legs with the phone attachment to the tripod. So then they're wrapped around, and then I already had a strip of LEDs, and I just bought this like plastic conduit, and just hot glued it together, just cable tied or zip tied the LED set, just as a proof of like this will work, kind of thing, and Yeah, it works great.
Definitely works.
And to be fair, it's working so well, I haven't actually done it as properly as I want to do it yet now. You know, I've just kept it with this janky, weird contraption.
I think it works fine.
Yeah,
I like this more kind of bird's eye view I've got. Not bird's eye view, more over the shoulder view.
Yeah.
I'm doing here. That might be an advantage to have that as a secondary thing as well.
True.
Because you can see it as it's being painted. Well, I suppose it depends on your angle. Because
That's a good point, actually.
I don't. How public are you making your ambitions, Luke? Are you
Nothing at the minute.
nothing at the minute?
It'll
Okay.
come out as a surprise. We can announce it then.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Carry on.
Speaking of nothing. Anyway, whatever. Speaking of ambitions, I'm back on the dice tower for a short brief appearance. Probably not to be repeated for a while. But tomorrow, theoretically, assuming they've queued
with
it up
that weather.
Yeah.
with that. If they've already uploaded it to YouTube and have just set it to go off at a certain time, then it will be on. If they have to press a button, then I don't think it will be on. But one of my new 20-minute video from myself and Cora will be on. Yeah.
Dan told me that he was doing another video with Cora, and I was obviously excited. And he said, "Oh, I'll send it to you to take a look." And so I'm getting ready to buckle in for a 2-minute video, and I see this thing is 20 minutes long. And then I had to pretend like I had seen it and tell Dan how good it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think anyone will make it all the way through, to be honest. But
actually, it's quite good. It is. It's and I will say this: it's you have pretty much stayed constant, but Cora's camera prep has gotten. I mean, you could tell she's so much more comfortable in front of the camera now.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she was never bad in front of the camera.
No,
I would argue. But she
did
a really
bit.
Yeah, she just did a good job, and she's always funny. But no, yeah, it made me think. Oh, maybe I quit too soon, which I know I could go back if I wanted to.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll see. What I'm going to be interested in is if the comments disappear from it, because that was one of the major reasons I quit, was because of this new YouTube policy.
Right.
And obviously they've got algorithms which detected as children in something and then shut down the comments. So
YouTube does it, right? I see what you mean. I didn't realize
Did you hear that they're separating it now? That there's going to be a YouTube Kids channel?
That already exists. My kids watch YouTube Kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think there's something I saw. I didn't read the whole story, but something on USA Today where I should have actually read the story, but I was at work and I just kind of saw the headline. But something to do with they may. I don't know if they're going to separate the channels even more, or if they're going to. I don't know. I should probably hear. I'm going to look it up for you guys.
Make a bigger thing of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff about YouTube algorithms going on at the moment, which is absolutely fascinating, and it's a lot of people are blaming YouTube for the sudden increase in kind of extreme viewpoints from both left and right wing because the algorithm encourages you to watch something similar but with a smaller number of views, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if they found that it was called I can't remember, it was probably a podcast because that's all I listen to these days. But they found this thing called this Gungam style effect with their old algorithm, in that excuse me, everything was being pushed towards. You like this, so you'd like this really popular video, and ultimately you follow that path, you end up in Gungam style, which is the most popular video on YouTube. So it's so they wanted to get away from just promoting the most popular people and promoting people who were similar but had something less, who were less known. But that often becomes the cranks and the weirdos. So the cranks and the weirdos are suddenly getting all these views because they're coming up on the algorithm as your next suggested thing. And so it's believed that YouTube's algorithm has been partly, at least, responsible for this huge rise in extremism from both the left and the right wing, and I think it's fascinating.
It doesn't sound from what I've just read, that thing you were talking about, Mike, and essentially they're making a website version of the app that already exists, the YouTube Kids app,
Right.
Gotcha.
and they're ramping up the restrictions and algorithm aspects of it for the most part. But from I briefly skimmed over it then. Yeah, so instead of being able to go to youtube.com, you'll be able to go to youtubekids.com instead, which you currently can't do, which I'd never thought about, the fact that it was only an app. That hadn't dawned on me.
Mark's currently giving me crap about not holding my models on camera.
Oh,
so
I know I do that as well.
it's difficult to remember to do.
I tuck in. I can't help it.
Well, that's how you paint,
Yeah.
though, isn't it? That's exactly why I'm moving off, because you tuck in, because one of the things with painting,
because you want to keep steady.
You need to keep your hands as steady as possible.
The base of my hand is on my chest. Yeah. Preferably, yeah. Yeah, the back of my wrist, inside of my wrist. Yeah.
You hunch over and give yourself a really bad back. So I don't think you really meant to hunch over and give yourself a really bad back, mind you.
No. No, if anything, you should be holding them up right in front of you, and
But I haven't got
the straight back and all that, But yeah, that's not happening.
Mark's saying weirdly he doesn't get the video recommendations from mini painting with smaller viewers than this. Must be the worst. I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah,
Mark.
I think you might be bang on the number there.
Our numbers of viewers is almost as small as the number of different games provided by Hush Hush Publishing.
Oh, and right back at you.
Yeah, they keep
plus or minus 15 or 14.
Yeah, plus or minus 14. That's it. Yeah.
Make it 13. Someone just left. It may have been Mark.
Yeah, Mark
He's just stormed out. He's like, "Oh bloody hell! He said it again."
Oh, dear. Mark's very charismatic, isn't he? Written down. I wonder why he's not in person.
I wonder why that is. What happens in translation? He loses something in translation.
Must lose something. Must lose some level. I think his wife probably ghostwrites for him. That's probably
what
what's
it
going
is.
on.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it there.
Yeah, nailed it on the head. Now, do I bother starting a new one,
I'm just starting a new one. But
are you starting a new one?
A new one then. If you're done, you're done. Sorry.
No. I'll start Wraith because he is pretty simple.
I'm starting a Kingfisher.
Nice. So what have we got planned for this weekend, Mike? Anything exciting? Are you helping your parents move again?
No, as a matter of fact, they this morning they began the drive. My oldest brother, came out from Colorado, and they drove out this morning. I talked to her, I don't know, a few hours ago, and they were in Iowa.
Right.
So they're going to be, with them being older, and my brother being retired, they're going to be, I think, 5 days to drive cross country. So, yeah, there's
no point rushing it, is there?
No.
And
right.
Risky.
Yeah, exactly.
With my parents at the age they are, they don't do as well sitting, in the car for extended periods of time. So yeah, the plan is just to do that, and so they're on their way. And I had a interesting discussion with the Pods people today that I won't bore anybody with because I already did that on the podcast. But suffice to say that they not begin. The pod did not begin its journey across country because of some obscure form about the gypsy moth, which I didn't even know existed until recently. So
that's interesting. So you need to check there's no gypsy moths in your pod, so you don't transport them to California. Is that right?
That's what it is. It's specifically a California thing. Anything that's being moved to California, you have to fill out this gypsy moth form, apparently, stating that you have inspected. I guess there are particular items that the gypsy moth is more likely to, and it's not the moth itself, it's the eggs. They lay hundreds of eggs. And so it's like grills and outdoor furniture and things along those lines, and sporting equipment. So you're supposed to inspect if you have any of that stuff being moved, and say yes, I've checked, and they don't have any. Well, my parents were not moving much stuff, and it certainly wasn't stuff that was going to be infested with gypsy moths. So I had to go through it, fill this form out, which I'd already done once. I'm almost 99% sure I'd already filled it out, but
it's not a bad thing, though, is it? Protecting your indigenous wildlife.
I mean, in New Zealand, when I landed in New Zealand, they made us take our bags out, show the bottom of our shoes, and real strict on it, and fully understand why, because Australia's been like ripped to bits by introduced wildlife and fauna and stuff,
Yep. I mean, the Himalayan balsa. Do you know the Himalayan balsa, Luke?
No.
Balsam, not balsa. That's a plant that, on the face of it, is quite cool because its pods explode when you touch them.
Oh, I know those. My neighbour used to have one in their garden. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. They're all over the bloody place. Absolutely. They grow like wildfire. Nothing eats it. It doesn't actually sustain any life because nothing uses it for anything like that.
Yeah, really.
And it's a massive problem around here. I'm surprised. I mean, every single verge, every single canal bank is just covered in this stuff.
Really?
And it's just horrid stuff. It stinks as well.
Yeah, they do smell funny, don't they? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool when it pops. The first time I saw one, the first time I saw one was about 5 years ago, and it was like, oh, look at this! Wow, what's it? It was really kind of a. And now our entire village is absolutely covered in them.
I mean, I was a real little kid when I remember seeing it in my neighbour's garden. I think I'm talking about the same plant. I mean, certainly it did what you were describing. It did this pop thing when you touched the right bit of it.
Explodes. Yeah. I imagine it escaped from somebody's garden or whatever. It's just the conditions must be right for it round here, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
But kind of my son's scout troop did a whole thing where they went round all the local parks, ripping it all out because it's a real problem. But there's just no getting away from it. I was just thinking, if it's gone from seeing one individual plant once to the entire of the area being covered in it, God knows what's going to happen in another 5 years' time.
Daniel, I thought you'd probably confirm basically what I said, that New Zealand has the most airport security when it comes to bringing in flora, fauna, food and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been looking at the chat.
Growing up in California, the big thing there was the Mediterranean fruit fly. You had they had checkpoints on the highways, and you would have to pull over and go through a checkpoint, and they would ask if you're bringing any fruit in, and inspect your vehicle. If they would do like random inspections to make sure you weren't bringing in any fruits that had these Mediterranean fruit flies, because they could destroy the citrus crops out there. Still a big industry in California.
You've just reminded me, when we were on the road in Australia, I can't remember where we were. I think it was South Australia, the state. We were just driving down the road, and there was suddenly this massive sign came up that's saying, no fruits, vegetables, blah, 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 beyond this point from outside wherever we were going. And we'd literally, 15 miles back down the road, stopped at a supermarket and bought some stuff for lunch a few hours down the road. So we had a load of tomatoes and stuff like that. I've still got a picture of us making cheese and tomato sandwiches on the hood of our car in front of this bloody great sign. We were just like, for God's sake, and that just seemed so weird, because there was no checkpoint or anything like that. It was just a case of we hoping for your honesty, please, And I'm sure we wouldn't have done any harm. We just bought a few bits from a supermarket, but we took it seriously and went with it. Respected
respect the requests of the place you're in, isn't it? Absolutely. Really, it's only common courtesy. Yeah. Courtesy. Yeah. Oh dear. So yeah, I don't know. But Cora's just recently got massively into Minecraft. She bought Minecraft this week on the PS4, and
Gonna be
she's
obsessed.
addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not a bad
It's
thing to be
very-
addicted.
No.
Oh,
To me,
a
it's
fun,
like
creative thing.
it has the appeal of Lego in a lot
Yeah.
of ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it became a problem with Evan. I mean, I started drafting a post about it. I don't know if I actually press publish on it or not, but yeah, they must have made a lot of money.
Oh god.
I mean,
yeah.
I own it on like 3 different consoles now, and I'm a Mac, and it's consistently popular, isn't it, for a computer game? Whereas normally computer games rise and then fall, but this
Yeah,
has been
true.
going for like 8-9 years, is it? Something like that.
Bloody
Guess
long
it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was
Who
I hearing that there was some problematic stuff with the just to ruin Minecraft for everybody? I was wondering. I thought I'd heard that there was some kind of problematic issue with the creator of Minecraft, but I can't remember. I could just
He's
spreading
he's
rumor
gonna-
and innuendo.
No, it might be me who said it. He's gone a bit nuts.
Was he?
He's gone very, he's gone very right wing, very well, actually no, very libertarian, I suppose you'd probably call it, but nuts, and lots of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I think the issue is he's so rich, he's probably got a lot of people round him just agreeing with what he says.
Yeah.
And he's gone
Mega power
crazy,
batshit, yeah.
basically. Mega power batshit
Yeah.
crazy, but probably too rich to get anyone to be able to say, now come on now.
Yeah.
Right.
What the chuffinell are you talking about, you lunatic? Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie will know about it. Jamie's saying Notch was always, that's the creator, was always a bit weird to be honest, but he'd nothing to do with developing it. No, he sold it to Microsoft, didn't he?
Oh, of course
Microsoft
it did.
owned
Yeah. Of course it did.
Minecraft now. But yeah, it's
How much did he sell that for?
a lot of money, I would imagine.
Yeah, I bet.
I get that's a cash cow.
Yeah.
Although usually, a lot of times when these things happen, it's like the guy who sold MySpace, isn't it? You sell it for millions and millions and millions, well, billions, and then
Dies.
2 years later, it's worth £3.50.
Yeah, I could probably buy MySpace if I really wanted it right now.
He sold it for $4 billion. I'm guessing $4
Wow.
billion. Can you imagine?
With a B. With a B.
Yeah.
Mike, I was saying to Mike, someone in Halifax, which is close to us, recently won some form of lottery or competition or something, which was £10,000 a month for 30 years.
Oh yeah, that one. That's like I think that's a scratch card you can get. Yeah.
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 Can you imagine that? That would be
Oh.
the absolute ideal lottery win, wouldn't it? Not enough to
No,
ruin your life.
Just to
But
do what
enough
the
to just
hell
to-
you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because if you think about it, if it's anything like the United States, you'd get about 20,000 of that.
No, because ours is untaxed.
No, as in tax.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Untaxed. Any gambling earnings and prize funds are untaxed in this country.
Well, they're not untaxed. You're taxed when you buy the ticket.
Correct,
You can either
yes.
choose when you place a bet. You can either choose to
Wow.
pay the tax on the bet when you place it,
Which you
or
obviously
pay the
do.
tax on the winnings. Yeah, but and the scratch cards, you automatically pay the tax
Yeah.
on the bet when
Yeah.
you place it. So they do
gosh.
get money.
That is amazing.
Well, that's why in England, on the whole, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? In England, you were the only country where you actually became a millionaire, because everywhere else in the world taxed that income. Whereas we didn't.
Oh,
here.
absolutely. You're getting taxed tremendous amounts. Like I believe it's close to or over 50% gets taxed. So I mean, you're gonna get about half.
No, yeah, 10 grand a month. 10 grand a month. That is just. I was laying in bed last night thinking,
It's the
I
dream.
probably would
It's
still
the dream.
work. Yeah,
Well,
it
you
is,
could.
because
That's the thing. That's what I mean when I say you could do whatever you want. You could literally do whatever you want for within
you could work,
within
you
reason.
could do what you want.
Yeah, if you want to work, you could do whatever job takes your fancy. Just
Yeah.
for the
I
hell
mean, you
of it.
couldn't buy a
Right.
massive. you couldn't buy a massive yacht. Well, you could. You have to save up for it, or I suppose you could probably get a loan quite easily.
As long as the loan company would take that as a legitimate income,
which they would.
I'm sure they would.
Which they would, I'm sure. Oh, sorry, Mark. Yes, I think you should sell Hush Hush to Microsoft. I'm not sure you actually own it, though, Mark.
Yeah.
You're just an employee.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to tell them. Don't have to tell them you don't own it. But that's fine. And he's saying he's going to listen to the audio because it's just the same as watching empty screens as we talk anyway, and that is very true. Because I have stopped painting now because I'm waiting for everything to dry.
Shut up, Mark.
I'm waiting for it to dry.
I'm painting. I'm saying shut up, Mark.
I can't see you painting all. Yeah, God, yeah, because it'd be amazing. Me and Kerry, we were just saying, I think we'd still probably work. I'd still do my job, I think, but I'd probably ask to go part time.
I wouldn't.
No, but I as much as I complain about my job, I value it as well. It's interesting. Yeah. It's a strange thing. I don't enjoy it, but I value it. Well, that's not even fair to say. I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it. But there's a lot of people at my work at the moment because mental health nurses used to be able to retire at 55 on a full pension, and then they cut that off about 4 years before I started, which was, well, it is what it is. But a lot of my colleagues are over 55, and they're in a position where as soon as someone says a bad word to them, or as soon as something happens that they're not happy with, they could just say, "Right, I'm retiring." Yeah, I retire.
Yeah.
I think the process takes about a couple of months to go through, but still, that must be a nice position to be in as well. Knowing you're working. I mean, the entire system. If I keep saying to people, there's a hell of a lot of our workforce over 55, just because I think it must have been a boom year for boom era for people joining. So I would say a good 30 to 40% of our workforce is kind of 55 and above. Maybe that's not true, but 50 and above, I'm guessing, or maybe just anyway, whatever. Certainly, most experienced nurses, and it must be, there's a real crisis looming if something happens that everyone thinks, fuck this, I'm off, and it will happen because it will happen because of Brexit. It will happen because the country's going to be so desperate to get any kind of trade deal. We're going to go to America, which is already making noises towards us. Trump is anyway. And then we are going to. They're going to say, we would love to do a trade deal with you, but you need to open up your health system to our companies in order to allow that. And our government, which was going that way anyway, will say yes to that. And so we will end up having.
They're wankers.
They're wankers. So we will end up having an NHS in name only. It'll be a series of private companies which are funded by the government, and the care will go down and down and down and become less and less efficient because that's what private healthcare is. So I don't care what anyone says. So there you go.
There you go, indeed.
A little bit of cheerfulness there.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for coming on, folks. You little brighten up your day.
Oh, they cheer. I'm glazing, Luke.
Ooh,
I'm glazing.
I don't use a lot of glazes. What are you glazing?
No, I use it on this. I only ever use it on this stuff because it just adds a little tinge of yellow.
That's a good idea. That's a nice idea. Yeah, I like that.
Just to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Okay, so here's a golden opportunity. Mark Cook is apparently about to set off driving, so he won't be commenting, but he is going to be listening to the audio. So This is a really good time to say scurrilous and scandalous things about Mark that he cannot respond to. I think this is an opportunity that should
me
not.
and Dan say enough of that in our message chat. I don't need to say, I mean, sometimes I've run Dan just to slag off Mark,
I got Mark.
Yeah.
I heard he slept his way to the top of Hush Hush. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah. Until I told him I didn't work for Mark for Hush Hush anyway. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an elaborate ploy.
Now I will say this: all joking aside with Mark, it's interesting that there. I wonder how many jobs there are that actually in the board gaming industry as a whole, like working for publishers, working as in any capacity, right? It's got to be a relatively small pool of jobs worldwide.
Oh, in the grand scheme of things, certainly, yeah.
What's that?
In the grand scheme of things, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, it is interesting that we know several. And so many people, we were talking about if you win the lottery, you can do whatever you want to do. And I think certainly not for everybody, but I think for a lot of people that love board gaming, that would kind of be a dream job, would be something working, in some way in the industry.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I always want to ask people that do it for a living is if it colors their joy for
Well,
playing.
often sounds like
you know
it
what I
does
mean?
depending on what they do.
Right.
Right. Look at.
I mean, most people we ask that question to says yes, it does.
Yeah,
right. Derek, says
exactly. Derek
says
he hardly ever plays games, or he certainly wishes to play games less because sees them every day.
Absolutely.
I think it would ruin my enjoyment. I mean, my enjoyment's close to being ruined anyway. I don't even work in it. Just by me being grumpy and not wanting to. I've gone from wanting to play any game with any person to wanting to play. Well, actually, I will play. Yes, I would probably still play any game with a select number of people, but certainly I'm very picky these days. I used to feel really depressed if I missed out on a games day, and now I'm like, do I really have to go? Not to everyone, but I'm looking forward to various things within gaming, but just very specific events. But that's me. I don't think that's not a symptom of the board game industry. I think that's just me being a grumpy bastard.
I think a lot of us get to that point in some way or form, though. In some level of degree,
but
Have you never been at that point, Mike? You just got a bit jaded
to the
with
point
it,
of being,
just a bit like.
Oh no!
You feel like it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely have. It ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
I went through actually earlier this year. I went through a pretty deep ebb, I guess you would say, where nothing that was coming out was particularly interesting to me. I was getting burnt out on keeping up with the relentless cycle of new games. I wasn't really in the mood to really even talk about it much.
You could tell on the podcast.
There was no.
He probably did a podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, did it coincide with about the third episode?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, we barely talk about games as it is. So, I don't know what it was. Something kind of clicked, and I started to kind of regain some of the interest. And so I think that's natural. I think that's normal. I think that it is neither the utopian Eden that new gamers think it is, nor is it the hellish pit that Dan Hughes currently thinks it is. I think it's somewhere, squarely in the middle. I think that what I do think is happening a little bit is that I think that we're going through some growing pains as a community. If you even go along with the notion that there is a community of board gamers, if you go along with that notion, then I do think that we're going through some growing pains right now. I think we're going through some cultural growing pains.
What sort of things do you mean?
Going through.
What do you mean? Expand on that. Expand on that a bit, because I don't necessarily exactly get what you mean. I'm not saying I disagree with you.
There's lots that Jamie's saying that I want to respond to, but I'm going to wait till this conversation's over. But he's go on, carry on. I'm just going to get to you, Jamie.
Okay. I'll go into as much as I'm comfortable going into it. I think that some things that are happening in a larger sense in in the culture is starting to kind of raise itself in board gaming. I'll talk specifically about issues of inclusion.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Right. Okay. I get what you're gisting at. Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Right. And so you've those issues. You've got, I think, socioeconomic issues are increasingly playing into, and we've, I'll pat ourselves on the back a little bit here. I mean, I think that we've been careful about, trying to have a conversation that could actually be productive. And that's the trick, is that, I think that, I don't want to speak for Dan, but these are interesting topics, but it's so hard to have conversations without stepping on landmines, without still keeping it in a productive, even to the extent of agreeing to disagree at times. So I guess what I'm getting at is, I think board gaming right now is just going some I don't know, growing pains, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. So what's this Jamie situation? Dan?
Sorry, I apologize. That was an interesting conversation, and I'm interrupting to shout at Jamie. Jamie's saying the mental health services in Yorkshire aren't very good. You're right, Jamie. I would argue that the mental health services for acutely unwell people and seriously and chronically unwell people are relatively good, but certainly the mental health system for people with mild to moderate depression, things like that, are appalling. So I would say that, and then he said, "Imagine starting a board game group and refusing to play with anyone in it." And that amused me greatly, because that is highly accurate.
I love it.
It's highly accurate. I am the founder, and I look round. I was looking around with Jamie today. I don't want to play with any of these bastards. But they were. Yeah, I've got a list.
That's funny.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize, but that is interesting, and I think you're completely right, Mike. I think now. The one thing I've decided I'm going to stop doing is describing it as the industry, because I am not interested in the industry. I'm interested in the community, and the industry the industry is a part of the community. But I don't work, I don't get paid. I'm not in the industry. I'm in the community. Does that make sense?
Does perfect sense.
So I'm only interested in talking about it from the community's perspective rather than the industry's perspective. But the community is great. There's a number of different things. There's the whole issue of, as you say, inclusion and things like that. There's the whole issue of the media and how the media acts. Although I think that's a larger social problem that we're going to have to. Well, I hope we address at some point. It's interesting because I was saying to somebody today that this whole talking a lot about the democratization of media and how the citizen journalist has got all this power in their hands and things like that. But I also think that the shame that comes along with that is that instead it's a lot easier. People are very tempted to become corrupt is the wrong word, but to be influenced by material goods and money and things like that, a lot easier than a newspaper would do or a TV would do and things like that. People see themselves as a relatively insignificant cog, and so what if I take this game and say something nice about it? It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So all these tiny little ethical decisions kind of add up to be the cultural landscape that we live in. So instead of one media outlet's decision affecting everybody, there's all these little tiny bubbles of problematic behaviour that affect. But that's not board gaming. I'm not talking about board gaming particularly. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about YouTube and the constant. Everyone is sponsored by somebody and all the product placements and things like that. There was a YouTuber or an Instagrammer who recently had a car crash, and there was loads of accusations of it being faked because the water bottle had its label very prominently displayed and all sorts of stuff like that.
God.
I mean, I think it turned out that it wasn't, but the fact that that's even a question makes a real it's just sad,
Yeah.
isn't it? The fact that the possibility is just really sad that somebody might fake a car crash in order to get some surreptitious product placement in and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know where it's all going, but anyway, I don't think. I think my level of concern about the problem is greater than most people's. I think it's one of these things where you harp on about an issue and really no one cares. So whatever. Oh, that's too watery. The real issue is this paint is too watery, so I'm going to have to waste it.
I'm going to move my computer over for a moment, so you're going to see nothing but my couch for a minute, okay? I'll be right back.
You've got to blur the background on, it's fine. Cool, what a couch. Yeah. That's a heck of a couch, isn't it? Cool, I don't know, bloody comfy. Oh. They don't know they're born in America, do they? I have to sit on a milk crate to watch TV.
I think if you're someone who just enjoys gaming with their friends, the hobby is incredibly healthy. I think you are completely right, and I said that on the 5 Games for Doomsday podcast. I think the media has some questions to ask itself. The industry has some questions to ask itself about where they're going. But the healthiest section is the consumer, the hobbyist. Good night, Jamie.
Bye, Jamie. Hope you won on Apex.
Yep. I can't remember. I don't even know what Apex is. What
Apex
is it?
Legends, like PUBG. Have you ever heard of that?
PUBG.
Yeah, Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
No, I've got no idea what you're talking about now.
It's a battle royale game. Don't worry. Yeah.
This grey is too brown, which normally I love that grey, but I'm going to abandon it and go for lighter grey. Administratum grey, that's what I say. It's gorgeous grey. This storm vermin grey. Storm vermin fur is a gorgeous velvety browny grey colour. I use it quite a lot, but it's too.
It's nice when you get a colour like that you'll almost find a reason to use it because for whatever reason it just appeals to you.
Yeah, but there's corn red as well, which is a dark red that I really like.
I always used to really like Citadel Goblin Green. Something about the way it painted, it just covered beautifully. It was just something about that colour that I would find a reason to use it, basically.
You sure Goblin Green or Gretchen
No,
Green?
it was Goblin Green, yeah, back a long time ago.
Well, this is a very old paint.
Oh, well, this was well before those. No, that's a foundation paint anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh heck, he's back. What keeps happening? I don't know.
What?
Maybe you
Dan
got
shrunk.
out for a moment.
Oh, did you?
No, I don't think it shrunk.
If you did, it's back now. Yeah, as you said.
Yeah. Corn red is such a lovely colour. The thing, I think it's because it's quite subtle. And as much as I like kind of talking about wanting my guys bright, I always end up going for the more subtle colours rather than the really vibrant ones. I think because normally in my dress, if that makes any sense, I don't like vibrant
Your own
colours. I would
personal
much
clothing,
rather,
you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I would much rather blend into the background with some less vibrant colours. But yeah, I don't know. What are you painting? Are you still painting your Kingfisher? Yeah. I'm doing this wraith guy. I can't see yet. It has to catch up. Oh, nice. Oh, I like the colours.
Okay.
Nice and vibrant. Are you going to dry brush it in lighter blue?
Yes, yeah. The blue's going to come up a little bit, and then that sort of pale yellow is going to turn into more white on the feathers.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Hang on a sec. David's saying, in terms of media, more established media topics, we come to know people's angles and who pays them. In Daily Mail, right-wing fascists. But in board game media, it's all new and small. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? And I think there is a real issue at the moment, but I think also people get very upset with me when I say that. Not on here, but on the Twitters. Although I don't think they get upset with me anymore because I think they've all blocked me. So that's fine. But there's lots of people who would like no one to really be paying much attention to things like this. I don't think they're bad people. I just don't think they think of it from the same angle as me. The reason I got, well, not the reason, but I went through a very similar period with parent blogging. As I say, parent blogging all used to be very punk rock, used to be very, small community based and very supportive and stuff. And then it kind of came at the same time as the rise of Mumsnet, if you remember all that.
Mumsnet. Yeah.
It's still going, Mumsnet.
Yeah, very strong. Still full of actually woeful advice most of the time. The amount of times I've Googled something and a Mumsnet thing has come up and I've sort of clicked on it before I've realised what I've clicked on, and then just for my own weird sadistic pleasure I'll flick through it a bit and just think, God alive, why are you giving advice on something so important when you clearly have not a bloody clue what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, that's the internet for you, eh? Yeah, and for most people, David's been very, very true here. Most people, it doesn't matter, and most people don't watch board game media stuff.
No.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I don't know how many board gamers there are, but there must be more than 3,000, mustn't they?
Board gamers?
There must be. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, I know it's an obvious thing, but there's more than 3,000 board gamers. But you'll find that most of the apart from the Dice Tower and possibly and definitely Shut Up and Sit Down, they've got lots of influence. But all these mid-range people we consider mid-range, they just don't get more than 3,000 views per video. And I know they're not the same 1,000 people that's seeing each video, but the influence these people have is very negligible. And you see some of these paid-for posts, videos. I'm not saying these are ones that are disclosing they're paid for. So I've got absolutely zero problem with them. But these paid-for videos, and you've got like 500 views. It's like, how much did you pay for that? Because if it's anything more than $5,
you got screwed.
You haven't got your money's worth there, because not all those 500 people. Let's say 1% of those 500 people buy that game, and I think that's even pushing it. I don't know. 5 people out of that video bought that game. You're not going to make. And I don't know how much they charge, but I bet it's. How much do you think they've charged per video, Luke? Well, you're an expert.
No, I've always wondered. How, what kind of price justifies it, because I don't mean any offence to these people who do it, because I always sit there and think you can't be worth that much, because exactly as you said, you don't get that many views, and I don't mean that as an insult to them. That's just reality, you're a small fish in a small pond, I
mean, I suppose the value to the publisher is people who are looking for information on that game and are likely to buy it might. So to say 1% might buy it is probably unfair, because the main audience isn't likely to be their regular viewers, is it? It's likely to be people who are searching for that game on Google or YouTube or Board Game Geek or wherever. So I suppose,
or even the algorithm chucked it up because it knows, they've searched for that sort of stuff.
There's been some funny stuff going on with the algorithms in our house recently. My wife got very. We were talking about a restaurant on the way home from going shopping. And then we got home and Facebook started showing her ads for this restaurant and discount code.
I've had a couple of things like this now, and I've sort of thought, oh, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm actually thinking about it because I've seen adverts. Hang on, which actually really came first, the advert or my thought? And I'm never quite confident enough to go, those bastards are listening to me, but it's happening too often now for me to really sit there with any confidence and say that it's not happening.
but the thing is, it's so illegal.
Oh,
And also this, and Kerry's got an iPhone, and Apple are notorious for being very protective over their users' personal data as
but
well.
what a great way to do it. Everybody, what a great guise to be under. Everybody out there thinks we really, really protect your data. Actually, we're selling it to everyone. You know,
Possible, but you thought it came.
you know the what.
You thought it'd come.
What's
wouldn't
the you know the devil's greatest trick was to make him think he never existed, you know, kind of thing.
you? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice Ghostbusters quote there. Yeah, I I don't know. It just was spooky.
Yeah, it's happened to a few things to me, and I was just like,
Mm.
because there's the saying, isn't there? There's an actual term for when like you break your leg and suddenly you see everybody in crutches, or you buy a car and suddenly everywhere you see
Confirmation
confirmation
bias.
bias. Thank you. Yeah, and that's the thing. Every time I'm just like, am I just have I just got confirmation bias? Is it just on my mind, and therefore I've noticed the advert because I'm thinking about it, and the advert was going to happen regardless, and I just wouldn't have noticed it, but because I'm thinking about it, I've noticed it. You know, that's the thing. You know,
I think there's an element of that,
There must
but I do wonder sometimes. Yeah.
Or is it that targeted advertising has got so goddamn good
that they predicted you were going to be looking at.
that they picked an advert like, well, yeah, he's definitely going to like this, you know, and coincidentally, I just happened to be thinking about it at the time or whatever.
I think this amount of money involved, that there is no. I know this is a cliche, but there are no coincidences.
Yeah.
I think that we're well beyond there too. There's too much money to be made. If you stop to think about it too much, it really is, I think, unhealthy. Quite honestly, everything that we do online, which is almost everything we do anymore, is being tracked.
Yeah.
It's being targeted. It just is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think to some extent you have to let go of that a little bit, because otherwise you just couldn't. You couldn't live. You'd go off in a cabin in Montana and write a manifesto.
Yeah.
You have to assume that. Yes, just about everything that you do, every keystroke you type, every link you click is being recorded somewhere. And the bottom line, though, is that probably, I would imagine, the nefarious thing that's being done with that is trying to sell you crap, you know?
Yeah.
And advertising is nothing new. Marketing is nothing new. They've just gotten a lot better at it.
And I'm not saying this is a point of view I particularly subscribe to, but you could argue that's all. There are benefits to that, in that the advertising you're getting pointed at you is stuff you're actually interested in, as opposed to shit you're not. But I'm not sure that's worth the.
Go on, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I've recently changed my diet somewhat. Recently, and I'm drinking a lot of protein shakes, not as a weightlifting type thing, but as a meal replacement thing, and not in a massive, although I do need to lose weight, but not in a massive attempt to lose weight, but just I often find myself ravenously hungry and eating crap because I can't be bothered making anything else. Whereas these things, you just put them together, and they're easy, basically, and they actually do contain not only protein but lots of vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff. You know, so it's artificially healthy, but it's a lot healthier than four peanut butter sandwiches. So I've also been toying with the idea of becoming vegetarian, mainly because of the what triggered it all off, and I suppose this is pertinent to what I'm saying, is the Brazilian fires and you know the whole truism, and it is true, that the best thing that an individual can do to help the environment is to become vegetarian or even vegan, because one of the biggest issues is meat production.
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been resistant to it before, but I don't eat that much meat because my wife is vegetarian, so it wouldn't be a massive thing. But anyway, so those two things combined, and then suddenly, and as far as I was aware, this is just all in my head. And then suddenly, I'm just constantly getting marketed for vegan protein powders. And it's like, I mean, obviously, I've been buying these protein powders off Amazon, so that's how they could have got that information.
Yeah.
And I suppose the Brazilian crisis may have triggered a lot of people, and veganism is very big at the moment as well, isn't it? Yeah. So that could have, but it's just like, this is exactly what I was thinking about. So how, bloody hell, I thought to myself, bloody hell. Yeah, it's interesting. So there you go. What have you been advertised to, Mike?
What have I advertised to? Well, what am I comfortable in sharing?
Hair dye? Is it hair dye?
Look, if I dyed my hair, I mean, don't you think it would show? I've got a lot of gray going on.
We'd have a pretty good sudden change, and we'd be a bit like, hang on a minute.
Hang on a minute.
Indeed, yeah. No, board games. I obviously get advertised games a lot. Amazon, constantly. What else am I getting advertised? What's weird is I haven't, I guess I'm cheap enough that I haven't done the ad blocker on Board Game Geek.
No, neither.
And, so you get the ads off to the side, and I am constantly getting ads for women's clothing, like bathing suits and women's clothing. And I have no idea why. I mean, I'd like to say it's because I'm being a fantastic husband and I'm buying a bunch of stuff for my wife, but it's not. So I don't know where it's coming from, to be quite honest with you.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that British politician, and a Conservative politician, and the main rivals of the Conservative politicians are the Labour Party, right. And he wrote this open letter or tweet or something like that, saying, "Do you really think it's appropriate for the Labour Party to be advertising for sex toys on their website?" It's like they've all said, "No, they're specifically tailored for you, based on your search history."
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a twat.
Yeah, I thought that was great. But yeah.
I had not heard that.
Way to completely own yourself, really,
nothing
isn't
better
it?
than a politician showing in such a beautiful way how ignorant they are, and also a little bit of a deviant.
Yes. So I did pay for the ad block thing for Board Game Geek, but Board Game Geek have really started to annoy me recently, and I think
because the logo.
Yeah. No, not the logo. It's more the kind of the day that I decided to stop. I mean, I don't use it as much as I used to.
No, I don't.
Either,
really.
So that's what. But the day there was a day I decided that's it. Next year, I'm not supporting them. They started sending me spam emails.
Oh yeah.
Spam geek mails rather about buying stuff. And all that
I
kind
get
of
those
thing.
every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, I get them.
Yeah, and it's usually quite an exciting event when you've got little one in your thing. Say, oh, someone's geek mailed me, and usually that's quite a nice thing to happen because there's something interesting going on or whatever. But these spam, look out for this in our shop and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, I give you not an insignificant amount of money a year. Don't try and sell me shit. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I thought, well, if that's a relationship we've got, then that's fine. But that means I'm not treating you as a charity or whatever anymore. So they can whistle for my money next year. I'm gonna. The thing they do that's very clever is that little gear thing, isn't it? Because I'm like, I won't get next year's little badge if I don't support them. Oh.
I couldn't give two shits about that badge.
I don't know. I do. I don't know why. I like having a.
That's surprising. That really, everything you said about like Funko Pops and this, that really surprises me that you care about that stupid little micro badge.
Just look something.
You know.
I see it as the Dean. Oh, getting loads of sex toy ads on Instagram. We know what you're up to. I'm susceptible. It's like this whole, and then this is something I want to talk about in the podcast. I won't go into it too much, but it's like this whole legendary kick I've been on. Just because I can see, just because I can criticise it in others, don't mean to say I'm not susceptible to it to myself.
Touche.
Yeah. Right, I'm going for a wee.
Yeah, have fun. Mute, please.
All right. Yes.
So, I take it you're particularly quite close with your parents. You're going to miss them, Mike? Did you spend?
Well, yeah. So yeah, I will. How do you answer this question? I suppose that sure. I mean, I'm close to my parents, but what's odd is that how you'll see on movies and TV shows, kind of the depictions of children with their parents. Yeah. And that's just not. It's just not me. I guess I don't feel like I've got quite the Hollywood depiction of a child and parent, but it's not like I had it's odd. I always feel almost like I should have a different relationship with my parents. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, no. I'm gonna be sad to see him go, but gives a good excuse to go out and visit. You know what I mean?
What made them go back?
I've got most of my family out west now, so.
What made them go back?
Well, there were a number of things. Number one, they were getting to an age where living independently was increasingly becoming difficult. And I live close-ish, but not close enough that, emergency comes, it's going to take me a little while to get over there. And my sister is at a point, she's the oldest child of four. My sister is at a point where she is going to be better able to kind of take care of them on a regular basis. So they're going to actually be moving in with her. Okay. And, she's close to retirement age, and her kids are both grown and adults on their own. And so it just, and also quite honestly, the weather in California is to people their age than here, where you've got ice and snow and frigid temperatures and ice covered sidewalks. And just getting to the grocery store can be a massive danger. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of what's going on there.
Makes sense.
Did they move here to be close to you, or was it just you? Because move to Indiana, or was it? Or was that too complicated?
No. It was a couple of things. Number one, it was when my first son was born, a little over 17 years ago. It coincided with a time period in their lives where they were looking for a move and a change. And I was telling them that whereas in California, they had never been able to buy a home. It's just, it's impossible. I had told them that, with out in California, what would have been, you couldn't even buy a lot for that price they could buy a home for. And so they moved out here primarily for those two reasons.
Right, yeah.
Give me 1 second. Yes. Yeah. All right, I got to step away for another moment.
No, that's fine, man. That's fine.
Sorry. Here's another view of the couch. Who was talking about how much they enjoyed the couch?
Said it was a lovely couch, and I couldn't help but agree with him.
Dave, so I'm gonna give you another treat here, and you're gonna get another view of the couch. Here we go. Look at that.
An exclusive look, slightly different angle.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't look as nice from that angle. Something about it, I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna give a slightly different angle. I'm gonna go like that. Oh, here, and I'm gonna put this pillow.
Oh,
here
that's
we go.
it. That's sorted out. That's sorted out.
There we go.
Now I'm on board.
Really sweating.
Now you're talking. I'll be back.
How you getting on with your fellas, Dan?
All right. I think I've pretty much finished
He
this
looks
guy.
good,
As good as
man.
you
He
can
looks
get.
really good. Loving the smoke.
And then
You adding that yellow to the smoke, beautiful. Really good.
Yeah,
Nailed
just
it.
picks it out, doesn't it? Just makes it less uniform, I suppose. No, I'm really pleased with that. And then this guy is good enough for tabletop.
Highlighting's
as I say.
nice on the back of the cloak. Like it. The highlighting's nice on the back of the cloak.
Yeah, just a bit of highlight. And then this guy is getting close to being ready as
cool,
well.
yeah.
He just needs a wash and a bit of tidying up and some yellow painting on him because it looks like he's got some glowy yellow. I'm not going to do original. I'm not going to. A friend of mine does all this source lighting type thing. I can't
I've
cope.
played around with it a little bit. It's not something I'm
not very good at it. And then I think, well,
I haven't mucked about with it enough to know to really say whether I'm any good at it or not. I've done it like Vader's lightsaber and stuff like that, but
you need to be good at dry brushing, and for some reason I'm just not good at dry brushing. I think I'm possibly too impatient for it, or something like that. I'm not sure. I I probably don't get enough paint off my brush. But do I varnish my minis? I don't tend to. I should do. Vanishing's less important these days with plastic minis. It's more important with it's more. And especially the softer the plastic, the less important it is, because paint's naturally got a bit of flex to it anyway. The reason you want to varnish your minis is A, to stop your fingers rubbing paint off on them, which, granted, this probably would do eventually, and B, which is more important, to stop them if they ever put together on a board or something like that and they touch each other, to stop them rubbing the paint off the other model and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'd never bother really, because I'm always a bit worried that the varnish, because varnish also can knacker up your model if you've done it wrong in the wrong humidity or things. It also makes your models glossier, which is not usually a look I want to go for.
Not if you've got a good matte varnish, it's fine.
Yeah, but the matte varnishes.
It has the more
matte you. Yeah, and the more matte you varnish, the less effective it is at protecting it anyway. It's the gloss varnishes that are the really effective things.
Yes.
So a lot of people varnishing gloss, and then they. What's up with him? He's laughing at our varnishing talk.
No, I'm laughing at someone saying they're thanking me for that, and they're going to have nightmares of my face now. You probably didn't see I was doing I came in sideways with a close up of my face.
Oh, I see. Sorry, we missed it. Yeah. So basically, I don't varnish generally. I should do when it's a metal miniature, but even then I don't. And the other thing is, weirdly, once it's painted, I'm not really bothered about chips and dents and stuff. It doesn't bother me that. Was at the moment I've got me headset on.
Got me headset on. There you go. Going full British. And David, yes, that is an IKEA print in the background. Well spotted. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
That's all right. I've got my headset on.
Hang on.
You can see
you're
me
flicking
here.
your video, right?
Yeah, flicking my video. And I'm making sure it's all super duper. You know, it's perfect for me.
We can't see it yet, by the way.
Close.
So.
Close. Oh, haven't you? All right. Because I pressed tick.
Not bad.
Oh yeah. Here, look. Here I am.
Oh, there he is.
With me headset. There you go.
Never fails to amuse me.
When you come to the UK, Mike, you're gonna have to say me for everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And you're also gonna have to. Oh man, I wish I'd never changed.
I was gonna say you go back to you again.
I know it's an absolute nightmare. And that you're also gonna have to say, it's not hello, it's A up. Yeah,
A up.
Not
A up. That's it.
not where you're flying into. It's not.
No, that's
No,
true.
well, 'cause that's London.
Yeah, you don't. If you say A up, you'll sound like a weird American who doesn't understand where he is in the country.
To be honest, if you said A up in down here, people would think you're a weird American as well.
Yeah.
They're not going to be fooled by just those
No,
two words.
no, they won't, because you won't get the
A up.
tone right or anything. A up,
Yeah.
A up.
Yep.
Hey up.
I don't think my dad used to say "hey up," and he was a Southerner, but he used to say it in a mocking way.
Yeah, I was going to say I say it, but in a mocking way. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's not actually part of my lexicon, as it were. So.
But I tell you what is part of mine and my kids is out and out. We say that all the time.
Nout.
Now
Means
that
like
means,
nothing or
that's
none.
right. Yeah.
Now,
Nothing.
to be fair, I would say it is a little bit of mine, which it shouldn't be.
It's a good word.
Yeah, it is a good word.
Yeah,
Nout
it means
and out.
yeah. We've got nouts to talk about, type of a thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably say out more than nout.
Yeah.
I think. So usually it'd be, have you got out to eat? You wouldn't say it consciously. It's just it kind of it's interesting. Yeah. Fettling. How are you fettling?
Well, that's a different one.
Yeah,
how are you
that's one I've not heard.
No, I wouldn't use that. An older person probably use that a lot more. Some people say, "How you fettling?" But yeah, I don't know.
Mark,
I don't know why I got into
stop
that.
typing on YouTube while you're driving.
Yeah, Mark Cook.
I think he said he's stopped somewhere.
Where did you fly into? Manchester. Should be home by now, shouldn't you? Speed you go.
Oh, services for a drink.
Oh, he took a stop at a services for a drink. I'm assuming that means a gas station.
Well,
No.
services, yes, it might mean a gas station, but it might be a gas station and more. There might be like a small hotel, a McDonald's, Burger King, and whatever,
Little, like a. We call them. What do we call those
Rest
here?
stop?
We call them like travel stations or things like that.
Yeah. You'll get to know all about. Yeah, so we're gonna go. You can fly into Heathrow. I still haven't worked out what we're gonna do in London, but we'll sort it out. I think we're gonna try and hook up with Max Davey is my plan. But we'll be seeing Max anyway, so I don't know whether. I don't know, whatever. And then we're gonna.
I was hoping that Max could use some of that Apple influence that he has to maybe wine and dine us around the city and I mean he's got all of that Apple.
All the
Isn't
Apple books.
Isn't he basically sponsored by Apple at this point, or?
I think so. Well, all his academic research is anyway, as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
No, I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'll tell you the truth, I've done very little research for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to be such a brief, amount of time. And honestly, I like just discovering things, and I'm kind of going with, I really want to kind of just go with the flow. I'm not looking at this as a tourist
site.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'm very much looking forward to going there for the first time and getting a feel for the local flavor and the local color and all of that. But
there's not going to be much time to do anything, really.
I'm not going there with a list of must-dos.
When do you you land on what day and then?
Well, let me take a quick gander here.
Lands on Tuesday night,
right.
don't you?
Is that what it is? You're probably right.
Tuesday night about 10 p.m.
Let's see here.
The plan is we spend most of Wednesday down south.
Are you meeting him on Tuesday when he arrives? Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's. I mean, I'm more nervous about that than anything because I don't know where to go and shit in Heathrow. But I'm sure it'll be fine.
Tuesday, November.
Heathrow's really easy because there's very distinct terminals.
It's more about parking and stuff and getting there. So
10:40 p.m.
10:40 p.m. So we'll go straight to a travel lodge. Although Mike's going to be screwed by whatever it is.
Jet lag.
You'll be knackered by then, Mike, if you've been up. It's going to be late. No, it won't be late for you. That's the problem. It's going to be early for you.
Right.
Because it's going to be 6, whatever it is, isn't it?
So, it'll be 5, almost 6. But what you have to remember is I'm an old man, and 6 o'clock is not too far from my bedtime. I think I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'm going to do all right.
I find actually your jet lag will be better here than it is when you go home Because usually when you go
No,
against the sun, it works. It's not so bad. It's when you chase the sun that's when jet lag really fucks you.
That's not the conventional wisdom.
No,
I thought it was harder coming.
Yeah,
anyway,
it is.
oh, is
Yeah.
it? Oh, right, okay. I thought it was harder coming here than it would be to go there.
No.
Whatever.
And some people are just more
yes.
susceptible to it, you know.
I'm very susceptible to jet lag, but yeah. So we'll have to work out. So we'll probably stay up for a bit, unfortunately. So I'll be knackered, and you'll be bouncing off the walls. To play
I don't think I'll be bouncing. I mean, it's going to just traveling in general will take it out of anybody.
Yeah,
I
it does.
think so.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I'm hopeful that I'm gonna do okay with it all. I mean, because that's a 5-hour difference. I've done 3-hour differences many times.
Right.
You know, when I go to the West Coast, it's 3 hours earlier over there.
But that's the other way.
It is the other way, but does that? I mean, I've also, when I was living out there, I've also come out here, you know, and it's and 3 hours ahead.
We'll just have to see, won't we? We'll just have to see.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll
besides, I'm sure that we'll go and we'll do pub hopping, right? We'll do pub hopping. We're gonna go crazy, I'm sure, on that first night and just
I'm gonna go.
I can recommend some good pubs to you in London.
Go down to Spearmint Rhino.
I'm at the point now where if I have more than one pints, I'm probably going to be, rolling around on the floor. So
our pints are bigger than your pints.
They are, yeah.
Oh.
Now, are they warm?
No.
Am I going to be drinking?
Well, if you go to somewhere yeah.
So misunderstood.
I don't like warm beer either.
But warm is
some place. Real ale is warmer.
It's not warm.
It's cellar
though.
temperature.
Yeah, exactly. It's not warm. It's cool.
But
It's,
yeah, but it warms pretty quick. Once you get it up out, I don't like it. I'd rather have something cold.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So David says pub crawl is what we call it. Yeah, that's what we call it as well too. I think I just messed up. I'm not a huge drinker, so I don't really know all the terminology that well, but I think in London you do have to go to a pub, right? I mean, that's kind of.
There's some great pubs in London.
In the local bylaws.
We might end up in Cambridge. I don't know
Why
where
are
we're
you
going to
end up in Cambridge?
Well, it's not far,
No,
is
it's
it?
near me.
It depends what we do. Depends what we do, because Max lives in Cambridge.
Oh, does he?
I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, either Cambridge or Oxford. Can't remember. One or two.
Right. Okay. No, I didn't know he lived in Cambridge.
Apparently, the beverages are cheap in London, according to David.
What's that?
In London, 1 pint and your wallet will be empty.
That's true.
Well, no. If you go to a Sam Smith pub, that's not the case.
No.
And they're real proper good old London boozers as well. They're beautiful old pubs.
Well, I've got some pubs up here that I'm going to take him to.
Good.
Well, one pub up here I'm going to take him to for lunch. Yeah. So then we're going to spend.
I resent that comment, David. But
well, I can't tell the difference between
no,
Oxford
I'm
and
sure you
Cambridge.
can. They are both beautiful cities. That's why.
Yeah. It's which one is the one that's closest to London? It's Cambridge.
No, they're both about an hour on the train. But
right.
Oxford is west of London. Cambridge is north.
I can't remember where Max lives. He lives in one of them two cities.
I can't help but think I'd have realised that if he was that close to me already.
Where's the Thirsty Meeples?
Isn't that like that's further out than Oxford, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm just saying, is it Oxford or Cambridge?
It's not Cambridge.
Okay, maybe there's an Oxford. It's Oxford then.
Well, Lynn Gadd is asking, apart from pubs and gaming, what are you planning on doing? Well, first of all, I do want to make it clear that we may go to a pub, but I'm not planning on spending a lot of time in pubs. I think it's mostly going to be gaming. I mean, that's really what we're the majority of the time. Am I right? I mean, I know I'm going to take
we spend Wednesday down south until around tea time.
Who's you big nonce?
Oh, that's bloody. That's Simon Brass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you should watch his Ignorance channel. It's very good. Simon does indie game reviews. Indie game reviews. That's how he would say it. And he's very funny. In fact, the first time I ever, well, I've said this story before, but I kind of stalked Simon. I wrote about him on my blog because I came across one of his videos and said how wonderful it was. This before I even knew him. So I didn't even know he lived in Huddersfield or whatever. I just came across this but he plays he gets drunk and plays video games, and it's very entertaining.
Fantastic! I'm
So
definitely be watching that.
I'll send you a link to. I'll put a link on the Facebook group to the video that first attracted me to the wonder that is Simon Brass. Simon Brass is an amazing individual who is very community minded, a very funny man.
Oh yeah, he always makes me laugh
down-
on the Facebook group.
The only downside to him is he's a so that's the only downside. But he
If he's what?
A twat. You don't know the word twat.
Okay. Well, we have that word here, but it is not used in quite the colloquial fashion that you use it there.
It completely is for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it very sorry then. Was it my?
No, it's definitely not a word you use in conversation here.
This is an interesting point. How bad a word do you consider sod to be, Mike?
Oh, here, the only time you're going to use sod is when you're literally talking about putting grass in your front yard.
But like, if I told somebody to sod off,
I don't think anybody here would. I think most people would understand in context what it means, but I don't think people would take a lot of offense to it.
Right? Okay, I didn't think they would, but Z told me that sod is essentially saying the F word. But I'd never. I thought, maybe yes. I suppose maybe it is referring to it as the F word, but I wouldn't say in Britain it's even remotely on the level of the F word. It's just like, oh, you sod, sod off. You know, kind of. It's a complete just nothing word.
To me, it's less than bloody.
Yeah, I think exactly. And he said, you've been saying it in front of Tom, and I was thinking, I was like, oh damn it. I said to Tom, I was like, just so you know, I've been saying it, and it's not. If it does mean something to you in that sense, trust me, it's not how it's coming out of my head, kind of thing. It's not how it's, and he completely understood that.
No, it's now I can't, I can't speak to. All I can tell you is from what I've known. First of all, you never hear anybody saying it, and second of all, I'm not saying Z is wrong. I'm just saying that I think people would take it as a substitute for F off just because of the context you were using
it's more
it
tone of voice, like anything, isn't it, really?
Right. If you were to say that, people, first of all, as stupid as it sounds, if you were going to say it as somebody who clearly is British, and if this is an American person who doesn't understand the etymology of that, they may assume that it's more crude than it really is. You see what I'm getting at? But I never got the impression, just from based off of the times that I've heard it used, I never got the impression that it was all that,
No, I mean,
scandalous.
I don't think it generally ever would be considered.
No, certainly not.
But it wasn't until it was Z said about it, I thought, oh yeah, I'd never really kind of thought about, and then I thought about the context in which you use sod, and when you would say it, I thought, yeah, it could always be replaced with that, kind of thing,
Yeah. I suppose that's true.
Yeah. But I mean, swearing's so different over here. I don't, I like when I'm around Tom, I do hold my tongue to a point, but I'm still a guy who swears. But that's, as far as I'm concerned, he's in England, where swearing is very different in context to it is in a lot of America, as I understand it, at least anyway. So I think, well, I'll censor myself to a point, but and he doesn't seem to.
When in Rome,
exactly, yeah.
when in Rome, say fuck shit bastard. as the saying goes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Proud members of the Dice Town Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pleased with this guy. He's turning out all right. I mean, he's a bit dull. It's not exactly an exciting mini, but he's turning out okay, considering how little time I spent on him.
I'm pleased with both of mine.
Yeah, well, you get all the praise you need. I need to start putting. I'm going to start stealing photos from that Batman miniatures painting group and then posting them up.
Is Dean still on? Or is he
There
gone?
you go.
Because I've just seen his Kingdom Death Monster stuff. Cool. Cool, blimey, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, that's a bit good.
There's another one. Core Blimey.
Cool, blimey, governor.
You. I don't think you'd very often say.
No,
that.
I said that in a. Yeah. I don't know.
I say jolly good a lot, which most people
I
wouldn't.
say bloody good. That's bloody good. You know, I can say that.
No, I mean like jolly good. As in good.
No, but that's the thing.
But
In
that's 'cause I-
exactly the same context, I'd say bloody good. Oh, bloody good. You know.
All right. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I that's because that's affected from reading too much P.G. Woodhouse. Pip.
Pip and Bernard's your
Right,
uncle.
Sorry, I'm concentrating on
Old your uncle.
painting for a short period of time.
No, they look really good, Dean. I'm really impressed with them. They're very cool. Very good. Love the... I think he's called the Butcher, the guy with the two big cleavers and sort of weird armour and stuff. He's really cool. And to be fair, your what are the people called in Kingdom Death Monster? Like survivors or something like that, or whatever they're called. But just the normal people that you play, you've done them so nicely.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, where's my phone?
The flesh,
I did have a look earlier,
the
I
skin
couldn't
tone
see
stuff on it is unbelievably good, coupled with the really good like little drape of material they've
Lynn's
got.
done some nice ones as well. Shame she's gone. Well, I could beholder. I don't know what that thing is. Oh, it's spiderwebs.
What are you looking at now?
Lynn has
Oh, has
posted
she?
to it as well.
Where is it?
Yeah. She's just gone now. She's gone to bed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. The Conan one as well. Ooh, yeah, those spider egg things are pretty cool.
Have you finished another one? Bloody hell, you're ripping through them.
What, me? Yeah, that
Yeah.
Kingfisher didn't take much. Yeah, because so much of it was just the blue.
I can't. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, they look great as well, Lynn. Yeah, they're really cool. You got nice bold colours.
Yeah, good. Dean's done some good ones. Let's have a close-up look. Oh, it's a bit blurry, Dean. Have you painted it blurry, or is it the picture? Sorry. Look at them rude ladies. She's gonna catch her death, that woman. Yeah, I love the skin you've done.
He's
Really
doing
nice.
really well, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
You pervert. I noticed you've spent a lot of time on that skin. You revolt me.
Caressing it with the tip of your brush.
I can see her nipple a little bit. I am zoomed in very
Wait a
much.
minute.
Mike's paying attention now, so hang on a minute. Careful, Mike, you're about to get some weird ad things.
I very clearly have been. I very clearly have been multitasking throughout this process, but
Can you see the nipple on? I'm zooming in.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
can.
trying,
Look at.
I can't see anything right now.
She's even painted a nipple.
Wow.
Look.
Oh, see, I'm on a delay, so I'm not. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Oh my.
Yeah, filthy
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah. See, that's kind of been some of the complaints I've heard about that Kingdom Death game. I haven't seen it. I haven't played it, obviously, but I know some people say it gets a little bit too much into the cake type stuff.
There's
Yeah.
that one. There's a woman, like a big beast, like woman monster thing, and her dress is made entirely of penises.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
man.
there's like the milk mother or something, and obviously you can imagine what she's mainly consists of.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's really weird. You know, I just don't. I mean, the models are amazing. Some of them are amazingly good. Some of them I think are really awful. But as in like poorly laid out and designed and stuff. But some of them are so exquisitely detailed and designed. You know.
I mean, the thing you've got to give Kingdom Death Monster is that it's obviously an absolute labour of love.
Oh my god!
I mean, if you go back to what Peter was saying about Fantasy Flight, about the lack of generosity in it. Now, obviously, depending on how you define generosity, because it costs you a lot of money to get that, you know.
Sure.
But there's definitely
the passion sings through.
The passion
sings through in every sense. You know.
And you know,
gentlemen, I am going to leave you to your lovely.
I think
I've done two. Yeah. I've done too many.
I've got to hit the trail.
Thank you for joining us, mate.
It was lovely chat.
And I will speak to you on Sunday when we record our podcast.
Indeed, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to leave you to hang up, Mike, because the last time I did this, I hung up for everybody, so you can hang up yourself.
Can I hang up by just leaving?
I presume so. Yes, I presume so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You're still here.
Okay.
No, you hang up.
Here we go.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Goodbye.
Oh, he's gone.
He's very old.
Oh, that was funny.
Just I'll just paint this dude's little bits of yellow, and then we'll call it a day.
No, it was a good session.
No,
he looks cool. You've done him really cool, actually. Have you actually used silver on him, or have you done non-metallic metal?
What?
Have you actually done?
It's.
Is it all greys?
No, it's not silver.
It's all greys.
But I don't think it's meant to be silver. It's just grey.
No, that's cool. Well, yeah, but I really like the look of that, because even if he's supposed to be silver, I think that looks better.
I must admit, I don't agree with you on your non-metallic metals. I prefer a nice metallic metal. I can't be asked trying to do non-metallic metals.
Well, you have done it, right there.
No, because
for the most part.
Because it's not a shiny metal. It is a.
No, I mean, if you're trying to do non-metallic metals, you've really not that far off it, you know.
Well, you need to do a bit more shading.
A little bit more. I mean, I don't take it that far. You know, I just tend to not use metallics. You know.
Is there a reason for that decision?
I just don't like metallic metals, metallic paints. I think they tend to. Yeah, I just think it's the scale with metallic paint doesn't look right. If you see, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You can almost see
I do.
the pigment in it, and therefore doesn't look like it's actually metal, or it shows you how small the thing is.
And that is an argument I've heard, and that's why people do non-metallic metals, isn't it? I don't have a bigger thing as some painters about my miniatures not looking like miniatures. If that makes any sense at all.
Perfect sense. Yeah.
You know, it's like with mold lines and stuff like that.
But I don't care about that.
No, I mean, I will
if
take
they're
them
obvious,
off if
they're really
it's absolutely
bad.
obvious.
Yeah.
And I'll take the flashing off if I spot it. But if I don't spot it, I'm not really worried about it, because no one's going to come in and say, "Oh my God, look at these tiny shrunken men that are absolutely realistic." I mean, they're toys, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so I don't mind them looking like.
See you later,
toys.
Daniel. Bye bye. Thank you for coming on.
Cheers, Daniel. We're
going very soon anyway.
We're going anyway. Yeah. I think everyone else is going as well. So yeah. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, unless it was like some amazing, like say I'd bought one of those like 80 or 90 quid Primarks from 40k, and I wanted to do the most unbelievable best job I could do, you know, then yes,
fine.
See
how good you can
then
make
I will take all that effort. Yeah. But you know, if you've got 20 Space Marines to do, bollocks to them old lines. I couldn't give a toss, you know, kind of thing. It's not worth your bother, you know.
I'm doing my
the non-metallic metals thing for me. There is the like I said, there's the it slightly jars me, but it's also once I saw people do non-metallic metals, I was like, I just like the look of that better. And I can't do it to the level that they do it. I mean, they do I mean, I've seen some people do non-metallic metals. Like when they do gold, it's like amazing, and you're like, that looks so real that it's brass or gold, and it's got those deep edges.
Yeah.
And
Good ones do,
but most like my level.
But bad ones just look worse than normal metal.
I mean, mine just looks like grey, basically. You know,
Yeah.
But in the slightly cartoony style that I'm doing my barrier badges, it kind of works anyway.
Yeah,
I think the silver would actually
only-
look a bit weird on them.
The only time it didn't work very well was with your badger,
Yes,
because there was too much grey
Yes,
or
which
black or
I
whatever
completely agree
on
on
that.
that. I'm glad I solved that. In fact, I'll bring him up.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Which wasn't your fault.
It's a problem with the model. It's
not-
and now I see
it's
it
a problem
on
with the model.
every time I see it painted. Whenever anybody posts one, see all this. It's all grey, and he is, for the most part, dark grey. I even tried to do him more black than I would have probably wanted to do him, but it still just all looks so grey. So that's why I did this like gold banding around all of his armour, which I think helped a lot.
I'm finishing off the base. Well, I'm not finishing off the base. I've got a little routine for all the bases in my background guys, and that I've painted them. The other colour I use loads is this one. I've been through a couple of bottles recently. Mechanica Standard Grey. It's just a nice, solid, dark grey. I use it for black as well. But I paint all the bases that, and then I stick some black wash over it. And when it's dried, I'll do a light grey dry brush. Well, only slightly dry brush, half wet brush really. So I've done 3 dudes.
Oh, well done.
Yes, I've done that
Nicely
guy.
done.
I've done. Have you seen that
I
guy?
think
We've seen that already.
the smoke looks great, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
not smoke, but you know.
and that's completely down to this stuff, which is
No,
magic.
well,
This
no,
X-ray
but also you add in that little bit of yellow. That just turns it into something nice. You know.
Yeah, it's the only time I ever used glaze. I've got one other glaze, I think.
I used to.
I've got a red
I
glaze.
used to have a few. I think I threw them away because I just never used them.
Yeah, well, I don't tend to use them, but they are very good. I've seen them used amazingly to transition colours, so it looks like it's airbrushed.
Right.
In a few things, but I mean, I'm never that bothered to do that really. So, but it works well for that. Just to give that extra bit of hint of colour, really, isn't it? It's rather than. So yeah, 3 more done. I'm getting excited.
Dudes left on mine. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, you got loads. Need to get playing it.
Yeah, really, I probably should, but I might just buy more of them and keep painting them. Because
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, you need to make your little display case. As
that's true. That's true. Yeah, which I definitely am going to do. I might never, like you said, jokingly, never play this game, and I'll just make stuff because I think it looks great and I like the world it's in. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing. You're getting pleasure out of painting them.
Yeah.
So and they're not pricey, are they? I mean, they're a little bit pricey.
Not
but
really. I mean, not the
not
grand
huge
scheme of
price,
things. No. No.
No, the smaller ones especially are only a few
£3.50,
quid, aren't they? The bigger one.
You know. These guys are like 12 quid each. But to be honest, there's only probably 1 or 2 more of these big ones that I even want. But they've got the new Kickstarter coming at the end of October. And they've got some quite cool sounding ones. Like there's a kite, a massive raptor kite.
Yeah, they are lovely miniatures, and the issue, you can't immediately see it because they're unlike.
What's that?
No, I see this. Listen, I was just saying, unlike a plastic mini, it's quite difficult to see how nice a mini is, isn't it, when it's metal? Because the light shines off it.
I mean, they do a reasonable job on the
only when
website of doing. They've washed them, so it shows you what details there are. But
do it, Dean, because Dean's tempted to get some. Honestly,
for the sake of the money.
I don't think.
Yeah,
just get a couple if you enjoy. Just find ones that you like the look of. The game is quite solid.
Yeah.
But
by the sounds of it.
But it is solid. I didn't play with any magic. I don't know how many times I'll play it again. I mean, I had I think I had fun making the terrain. I'm still not sure if I did or not, but
You
I'm
had
glad I did.
points of fun and points of frustration, I think. Was that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I did it, and I learned stuff from it. So I'll probably use that stuff I learned again at some other time. But yeah. Okay, right. I think we should go, Luke, because it's past midnight.
So on that note, I shall stop the stream, people. All the best. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been fun.
Indeed.
Bye bye.